Hello, everyone, and welcome. We hope that you are having a lovely day and you're ready for some roleplay. I got everybody in the wrong boxes. That's my bad. We'll sort it out eventually.
I'm Bentham.
I also have
Hello, everybody.
It's just a hot mess right now. I will fix it in a moment. But in the meantime, we hope that everybody is doing well and that you're ready for some roleplay. So first and foremost, we wanted to mention that our sponsor is Roll20 today. Roll20! Thank you, Roll20, for sponsoring us. We super duper appreciate it. And of course, today we have a little special announcement. By Connie Chang will be joining us on April 13th. She's going to be our special guest. Yeah. You didn't know this, Jack?
I didn't know this either.
Only the three of us have been talking about it.
So April 13th, Connie will be joining us. Connie's awesome. They will bring surely something exciting to the table if you weren't already in shock of what Alicia brought to the table. And of course, we hope that you'll tune in for that. We also will have some merch up, designedbyhumans.com/shop/roll4. If you want to keep yourself warm this season or get yourself a tank top, t-shirt, coffee mug, whatever it might be, head on over there and get yourself some swag to rep Roll For It. And of course, today's supporter is Hero Sheep. And if you would like to become a supporter like Hero Sheep, you can head on over to our... Yeah. All right. You can head on over to our wonderful Patreon and get access to all kinds of goodies, including Legend Tier and above, which gets you access to a privately GM'd game, which Kyber is doing.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. You'll definitely want to get in on that because it may affect the game. And then we also have... Sorry, I'm trying to fix all the overlay stuff at the same time. We also have all kinds of things like after shows and character sheets and character background stories. So if there's anything like that that you'd like to see, head on over there. There's lots of stuff, and I'm sure as we level up, you'll get to see more of that. And of course, you can become a Twitch subscriber over here on Twitch and get access to our VODs in advance as well as emotes. And you can head on over to YouTube, become a YouTube member, and get access to some of those emotes as well as just supporting us and showing some love. And whether you're a YouTube member, Twitch sub, or a patron, you get access to our private Discord, which we have lots of conversations in. So you'll definitely want to come hang out with us over there. But we understand not everyone can support us in a monetary way. So, there's lots of free ways to support us, like watching here live on Twitch. I know it seems strange, but just being here makes a big difference. It makes the numbers go up. It makes the algorithms find us. And of course, while you're watching us live, you can only do this while we're live, which is making clips. So if you find a cool moment, please clip it. That's super duper appreciated by us. And you may see your clip featured in our social post. And of course, you can watch us on YouTube, subscribe, like, comment, follow us on all those socials, Twitter, Facebook, like, share, retweet, and comment. There's some stuff up right now that you can interact with. And I know sometimes you're like, I only have one follower. It doesn't matter. The algorithm wants you to just interact with the post. The more the post gets interactions, the more it gets elevated into people's feeds. It's weird. Welcome to the world of social media. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to Kyber, and I'm going to fix the overlay.
Well, we had a very chaotic ending, we'll say, to the last episode that had a lot of drama, relationships, pure chaos. So as we did last time, the camera went up, and now we're going to take it back from the clouds back into the moving train. You can see on the backside of the train a large hole from where a 9-foot doll once was. You see claw marks on the top from automatons sprinting across, and you see bits of a former automaton sprawled out along the tracks as we pan across the train, go into the sleeper car, and see Azuka starting a conversation with a newly awoken Kyoko.
So I think if we leave it sign off right where I left off, I'm like face down in the bed, just kind of talking into the pillar. So it's kind of muffled, but after a while I'll roll over so you can actually hear me clearly and just go, yeah, so I think I told you this already, but Mintala has a girlfriend now. She's a living doll. A whole thing. I think she fell in through the old world and has been looking for her previous owner for a while, and she was gonna tag along with us to get somewhere where she thinks she can get back to the old world, though she didn't really have an actual plan for that. So we ended up pointing her in the direction of Cade, because Cade probably knows. But before that happened, after we met the doll, but before I pointed her in the direction of Cade, the automatons you mentioned did attack, but it seemed like they were attacking just because of the power source of the train. They were their own core power source, the things that were keeping them alive, was slowly draining. They were losing energy, and they wanted to get to the power source of the train so they can recharge and not die. So after being thrown around a couple of times, they finally told me that was what they were doing, and then I was like, "Yeah, sure, take the core. I'd rather someone stays alive than us get to Chicago. I mean, it's not that important." So I led them over to the core. I think meanwhile, the doll grew to like 9 feet tall and like busted through the roof of the train. I haven't seen the damage, but just from what Mintala and Chuck told me, it's probably pretty intense. They kind of rumbled a little bit with the other automatons because some of them came from the back of the train. But by the end of it, it was kind of peaceful. We got to the head of the train, and then the conductor, the engineer, threw one of the automatons out of the train and got run over by it. So that was one casualty that could have been avoided, but wasn't. I, I'll admit, with some struggles, I managed to tackle her and restrain her. She's really strong. I just want to put that out there. And I think there's something more to her than just being an engineer, personally, because there was no way she could have been that strong. Anyway, then there at the core, when we saw that they were starting to recharge themselves a little bit, we learned that it's going to probably slow down the train a bit if they're going to be feeding off the core. But again, I think the whole party was kind of like, yeah, a slow train is better than dead people. So we let them continue to drain from the train. And then I pointed the automatons and the doll, her name's Lottie, by the way, to Cade, because Cade probably has a way to, one, give them some kind of energy core, something that they won't need to constantly recharge, and two, is kind of an expert when it comes to anything about the old world. So I hoped that he could help Lottie in that regard of somehow getting her back to her home. Amidst all of that, I won free food for the rest of the train ride, because I was like, "Hey, we're getting attacked here," and then the guy behind the bar was like, "We're not getting attacked here," and I was like, "Okay, do you want to bet?" And he was like, "Yeah, if we're getting attacked here, I'll give you free food for the rest of the ride." And I was like, "Cool." And then less than 5 minutes later, I was thrown through the eating area by the automaton. So I think that's kind of like pretty good evidence that we were getting attacked. In that throw, I dropped your salmon. I'm really sorry about that. So you're probably gonna have to like go and get your food yourself. But if you say you know me, maybe they can just give you the food for free because I kind of won that bet. How did you sleep?
I think her like fox jaw just opens and she shakes her head and her ears are just kind of like, as you're talking, like twitching a little. Oh yeah, because I'm in fox form right now. That's true.
I think as you open your mouth, Azuka says, "You can do the brain thing. I'm fine with it."
She nods.
Well, that's quite a lot.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say, but is everything all right now?
I think so. I imagine the automatons are probably mourning because they did lose one of theirs. But other than that, everything seems to have been dealt with amicably.
Do you know what the automatons are?
sort of, I guess. I know they were created by a wizard. They were, I guess, kind of bound to an energy core, so they couldn't leave, because they would have to constantly go back to recharge. But other than that, I didn't really ask for details. I just heard that they were going to die if they didn't get the core, and that was enough for me. Enough for all of us, actually, I think, to kind of act.
Well, that's kind of y'all. It's unfortunate that they lost one.
Yeah.
They were guards of the old world. There to protect us. And of course, unfortunate for them, bound by that magic, having to consume it.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like the most free life.
Well, just like how you need to eat food and drink water, they have their own consumption that must be made.
Yeah, I guess so. I just
Do you find
they end
that
up
requiring sustenance is a binding thing for you?
no, but I live in a world where it's not as rare to come across food as it is. I can only imagine these energy cores are. So I guess in that regard, it seems like a very restricted life.
Well, when the resources you need to survive are minimal, it becomes a little bit more constrained.
Yeah. But Cade has a whole bunch of stuff at his place. He's bound to have something that can help them, something that could be more portable, rechargeable. I don't know, just something that will allow them to do more of what they want without having
You really
to.
trust this Cade fellow.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm still angry at him, but he's still family to me. Kind of like how I found out that Santa wasn't real. You know, I felt upset with my parents that they lied to me, but
Well, Santa
they
is
didn't
real.
shake. Wait, what?
Of course.
He's just gonna stare at you. Is this like a old world thing? It's like he ruined your old world.
Well,
Is he here now from the old world? I
your
have a lot of questions.
world, Santa's a little bit different. But I suppose stories over the ages change.
Okay, let's tackle that later. I'm gonna put that. Yeah. That's gonna reshape a lot of my childhood. Now let's put that. Let's unpack that later. No, yeah, I trust Cade. At the very least, trust him to do what he thinks is right, and he thinks it's in our best interest. Whether or not it actually is, that's up for debate. He's
Then
not God.
what are
he's
you
not
angry with him about?
that he didn't tell me or my parents about what's in me earlier. Like, I understand he thought it was for the best, but he was still wrong.
Was he? Do you think you'd have the same childhood you have now, or you had, if you had known all those things? If you were worrying about what was inside you? If you were thinking about the people who did what they did to you?
I think at the very least, my parents should have known what they were letting into their house.
What if they knew? And they
Well,
were
I guess
also
that's
in
enough.
agreement with not sharing that information.
Well, that would mean Cade lied again, because at least from my interaction with him when he finally told me, he said that they didn't know. And if that's true, then I just think the more information, at the very least, from my parents would have been best. Then they could have been prepared for what might happen, what did happen.
We can try our best to prepare for what may come, but sometimes it doesn't matter. It's not about preparation all the time. Sometimes it's just about how you react to things. Can't control everything, unfortunately.
I don't think you can control everything, and I agree with you there, but there are things you can control. If, for example, they knew that this thing about me was more than just anger issues, they could have, I don't know, reached out to people who might know how to deal with it, or they themselves been prepared and looked more into how to calm me down. And I trust Cade, but just because I trust someone doesn't mean I can't be annoyed anytime to forgive them.
Forgiveness is it's a fickle thing. But you're welcome to forgive at your own pace, or to not forgive at all.
Yeah. I
As
just trust no matter
Kyoko says,
what.
like, to forgive it all. Feel it tingle up your spine. It's just,
Exactly. Who really needs that forgiveness, right? Who really needs that? Hold on to that anger. Use it later.
I take a deep breath and very casually turn to Kyoko and say, he's speaking again.
Anything interesting?
Advising me to hold on to the anger, which is honestly making me think I should let it go more.
Well, then you know what you need to do.
Yeah.
Mentala has a girlfriend? Does that mean we have another person with us now?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be, I think it's going to become a long distance thing for now, because they're going to be going back to LA while we continue our journey.
Oh, well, at least she's from where he's from. Or he, she, who? I don't know, and I'm
She,
assuming. All right.
Yeah. Also, I think they're going to be getting married soon, because she mentioned that she's just straight betrothed. She's a married woman. So I
Well,
think like
that
that's, I don't know if
escalated
that's
quickly. I thought you
yeah.
said girlfriend now. It's a fiance?
Yeah, I'm just remembering how it escalated throughout the day. Yeah. I mean, if they think they're the one, I'm not here to judge.
Well, I'm happy for Mentala then.
Me too. Also, by the way, I'm pretty sure Chuck thinks we're a thing.
We, as in me and you?
Yeah.
Well, that'd be quite an age difference.
Wait. Is it rude for me to? I'm not going to. How old are you?
Oh, bad mood, Zuzu.
Well, in human years or Kitsune years?
Human. I'm better at converting that, because I just know it.
I'm around the 30s, early 30s, for your type.
Okay, you're not that much older than me in human years. But yeah,
Time is
just
a
wanted to
little
let you know
different
in
for me.
case Chuck like implies anything. I was too tired to say anything or really correct him.
Well, I suppose we should be having a different conversation then. Do you have feelings for me, Azuka?
No. I mean, beyond, I suppose, friendship.
Well,
Is Azuka
feelings
still
mutual.
fatigued?
I imagine if it's right before, I mean, right after we picked up, probably yeah. Because I haven't had a chance to sleep, so yeah.
Roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Sorry, bud.
Come on.
I'm
Nat
assuming
20,
this
let's
would catch you
go.
off guard.
18.
Okay. With an 18, you feel the weight of all of the energy loss, the fatigue, the muscle cramping, getting launched across a train, and in one moment you feel like you blink and you see the reflection. You see the shadow person behind Kyoko leaning against the wall, staring at you, still with half of the face cloaked in shadow, hair coming down to the shoulders. They are the face that you see, now that you actually see it clearer. It's not in this white space. There's nothing going on. It is like the epitome of androgyny. It is beautiful and handsome, and it is the hardest thing to understand. But then they lean over and just,
I mean, if you average us together, we'd be the cradle robbers.
and you blink, and they're gone. As he got oddly close to Kyoko, put a hand out, tapped on the shoulder.
I think I almost instinctively reach out as if I'm gonna try and bat his hand away, and then I blink and he's gone. So I quickly pull my hand back and just go, yeah, no, I don't have feelings for you. I think I need some sleep.
She kind of just cocks her little box face and her ears tilt a little bit as she watches you go to touch her, it seems, and quickly batting something away, when you see a fly, I'm assuming, and then you quickly back up. And she just says,
All right. I think we both could use some more sleep.
Yeah. And I just very quietly flop onto my side and pull the covers over me and try to sleep. But I think every so
As
often I'm opening
you
my eyes again to see
go
it.
to lay down on your back and then you turn to face away from Kyoko, the reflection is there again and just,
No feelings for her. Oh, you're gonna lie to yourself too? Oh, no. Is there something that you're denying yourself? What's going on here? This is adorable. You shouldn't sleep more often. This is fun.
I close my eyes regardless and I try to sleep.
okay. Blink open a couple of times, gone.
Yeah, I hope that sleep takes me as I lay in there.
All right. It is getting to the later part of the evening. We were talking with everybody. Chuck and Tala, how are you guys doing at the front of the train? I mean, assuming that's where you guys might still be, wherever you may be at this point.
So, how would a wedding go if you were to actually get married so quickly? You know?
Well, firstly, it wouldn't, but I mean, otherwise I don't know. I guess you plan these things. I don't know how these things work.
Would you would you need a dollhouse, or would you be in a normal size reception hall? I don't know. Who would you invite? What friends you got back home?
I would like to be the flower girl.
Oh, of course. That goes without saying.
Yes.
You know what? I don't actually know how sprite weddings go. Haven't been to one. Wasn't at my parents', obviously. We don't belong in this world. or the world we were in before this one. So it's kind of like we're just making it up as we go along.
Everybody doesn't feel like they belong. But in
Well, I know,
reality,
but in a fundamental sense, it is true for me. I'm a tiny big creature with a giant rock monster. We're definitely not meant to be here. It works though.
Chuck, make me a society check.
Bam.
Nice.
26, rolled an 18 on the die.
With that, you do actually recall being to a few Fey weddings as a different person. As Mintala is looking at Chuck, you see this like little ring of spark kind of go slowly around Chuck's iris. And you remember, like, it's almost like a play on occasion. You have the best man who's off to the side, sword drawn, kind of perfectly positioned to fence and swashbuckle off anybody who is trying to come and steal the bride. You have the other bridesmaids who are morphing themselves to be a direct duplicate of the bride and kind of like dancing around in this almost like play of this fun transaction and humorous occasion of all of these sprites kind of playing jokes on each other, poppers going off in the middle of the vows just to kind of try to disrupt things. It's this very mischievous, joyful, playful occasion. And you, in this memory, look and you see Alia next to you, you guys hand in hand, and you have this smile of connection. And as quickly as that memory came, it's gone.
First, you'd have to pick the correct bride. And
Yeah, well,
apparently-
that's the kind of important first step that we have not got to yet.
No. I mean, I don't know why, but other Fae would try and look like the Fae you're marrying. It seems like it'd just be a series of pranks, but like in a fun party type manner. Oh, and you should probably learn defense.
What? Oh.
Yeah, there's swords involved. Nobody dies, but it's very
Sword
disruptive.
pranks? That actually does sound pretty cool, yeah.
Anyway, that's
Are you having like one of those moments?
a memory of another life. Yes, I suppose.
I wouldn't think you would have been to like a Fey wedding when I haven't been to one even. Maybe they have them somewhere around here.
Probably. Sorry, I'm a bit shaken. No, but what people would you invite to your wedding, Mentala?
Oh, well, I suppose friends and family. That's universal, right? Everyone does that. You want everyone that matters to you and that you matter to be there to see it.
Yeah. You just see a somber look on Chuck's face as he's thinking about the friends and family aspect.
I think sort of Mentala catches up and just like he goes quiet too when he realizes like what he has stumbled headlong into conversationally.
In this moment of allowance of awkwardness and just kind of letting two people who were, still kind of acquaintances at this point, you guys only met a couple of days ago, you have this kind of moment of just like, yeah, we're cool, just kind of be in silence for a moment. We can hang out in this existence. And as that happens, you look outside and you see the rolling landscape of places you have never seen before. You see ruins that ping of treasure and traps and all of these places to explore and scout. You almost hear the land calling out as you do when you're roaming around the outskirts of Los Angeles. And you see just how much more to this world there is. And you feel almost this general call of nature. And you have this moment of like near belonging in the wilderness as well.
You know, as unlucky as it may seem to be alone, I don't think either of us really have ever been alone.
We've got our own companions in our own ways. Weirdly linked to us, but always there.
Yeah, Min, who's yours? I don't know. Every now and then I pull out this rock and I kind of talk to it from time to time.
Yeah, we all need a friend to talk to.
This is Billy the Boulder. He's going to grow into it, don't worry.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Mattel doesn't correct him. He loves this.
Yeah. Red has a pet rock now.
This rock's all the way down.
Right.
It's a rocky life he lives.
God, I wish we were going to Ireland now so I could start singing the Rocky Road to Dublin. As the sun sets, the lights flick on within the train. Some of them a little dim from the energy source being taken. And if you guys remember from last time, there are two different engines. One is called an aversion engine. One is the engine that powers the train. The aversion keeping the monstrosities and threats just unable to perceive, to not be drawn towards the sounds of train. They're just like, oh yeah, what was that? Oh, it's nothing. It's like when you live next to the train tracks and the train tracks start blending into the background sound of your existence. It's just kind of one of those things. But you would notice the wheels do sound a little louder in your head. The sounds of the train are a little bit more vocalized. Make me, as the sun sets, anybody who is looking out of a window, make me a perception check.
I definitely would be.
I'm out cold.
I got a
asleep.
19, 11 on the die.
This is
All right.
14,
While we're
rolled a
sleeping.
5.
As the night goes on, Chuck, you would be the one. As the sun sets, you see little fires, poof, 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 kind of pop off in the distance. Small, not an entire campfire. Maybe a hunter who is making a thing or something. But then you see a cluster over in one section. And you think, oh, there might be something. That might be something. We're on the train. We're moving fast. Kind of get lost in thought of everything.
And I don't notice. I'm just chilling. I look too much at the foreground because I love the random fragments of the old world and the seams between the old and new. And they're what fascinate Mentala. He isn't looking at the horizon.
You know there's secrets in some of them when you see this like ping of magic ripple over the stone and dissipate down in. You're like, man, if I had time, ooh, we'd be going there.
You know, in this world, light comes simply through electricity. Something lost in it doesn't have the life that a flame does. Like those campfires out there.
Huh.
As you say that, you look down in your hand and you see almost this like when you just start a stove, you know, that really low grade fire. You see a little swirl of it in your palm that then kind of puffs out into smokeless nothing.
I think it's special in its own way. This was a world without magic, the only one. I think maybe there's more, but can't get to them. I guess because there's no magic. So they made do with nothing, wood and rocks and dirt and rain and stuff, and they made it work. And then they set some rocks on fire and made it into metal, and then they got some chemicals and they mixed it together, and and then some steps happened that I don't even know, and they made light out of it. That's kind of cool to me. It's its own kind of magic.
The Industrial Revolution, I guess, was a magical time.
You
Yeah,
guys trapped lightning in a box, and it showed you a man getting hit with a hammer and falling on a banana peel. That was really funny. Movies are fun.
Oh. I thought you were talking about the invention of electricity, and I was going to correct you, but you're talking about a
I
TV
was
show.
talking about that. We've got all our own, it's everything about this world before everything crashed together is crazy, because in the old world it was all just done with magic and stuff. You just, if you needed lightning, you cast some.
Yeah, but even then, with everything that happened, it destroyed the beauty that was naturally there. Paved roads, chopped trees, cities built on grounds that used to be lush with greenery.
You see Red kind of look down at himself. The construction, the city elemental that he is. And just...
Nature changes with us. It is neither beautiful nor ugly. It just is. The things that come from it are also beautiful in a different way. Like
It's all just reshaped.
Yeah.
Mixed up and turned into something different.
Without your world mixing with the old, I would not exist.
And I wouldn't still be alive.
Like, we don't... That... Nature is... What do you say, Billy? What,
And he just kind of stops talking as he's realized that he's said probably the most intelligent thing Red has ever said, and then kind of just like drifts off for a second.
Normally it's the other way around with the tear. People ended up dying that wouldn't have. What do you mean?
I may look late 40s, early 50s. But I'm much older than that.
Oh? How much?
Well, the tear was what, 30 years ago?
Roughly?
Yeah. I was around this age 30 years ago.
Oh. We might have made it this far anyway. But did you just, I guess you just like stopped?
No. Trust me, I wouldn't have made it this far.
Then guess it's a blessing, right? More time, doing more stuff.
Also more loss.
That's a very cup half empty way of looking at it.
I'm just trying to explain that there's a beauty in death.
As you're having this conversation, the door in the front opens up and Tracker, the automaton, walks in. Kind of just sits down. We never said exactly where you guys were. I assumed you were in like the observation car in some kind of hangout space.
That makes sense. He just sits down and doesn't say anything.
He just kind of like goes in. You guys are still having this conversation. I just wanted to introduce him to the
That's
scene.
fair. I lost my train of thought.
You said there was a beauty in death.
And
Oh,
loss.
yeah.
The more time you have, the more you have to lose.
Yeah. Throughout life, obviously, the longer you live, the more you lose people you care about. Obviously, the tear, many people lost. There's a stage of confusion and mourning and emotions beyond what anybody could really comprehend, because the actions and the events were beyond anything anybody conceived could happen. But afterwards, new life came to be. And when you've lived a long, long life, and then got paired with somebody who had lived a long and full life, seemingly as well, there's added weight to living. And you recognize the peace that can come in death.
They say that sprites never really die. I'm not sure how that works for me though. It's kind of like it was when they were in the Fae. It's like you wouldn't die, you just kind of come around again.
Well, like we in our world talk, it's really physics, but I think it has to do with a lot more. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed, only changing forms.
You just become a different part of the world. I like that.
If I may,
Oh, yeah.
as someone who has lived multiple lifetimes, you do love the ones around you, but you get to see the world evolve, see the trees grow, societies change. It is a blessing to be able to see the progression, and acknowledging the beauty in death as well as the suffering and mourning. Do not wish for death, but don't shy away from it.
I guess I've still got things to look forward to.
Hope can come at any moment for something new to arrive.
Like us in the train.
Exactly. We probably would not be here now if this had not occurred. You took the time to understand us. And so we live. When others, so many, dismiss those things they do not understand. I owe you a great debt.
I think we just understand that all kinds of different things can be alive.
Life is ever-changing.
And I feel this conversation goes on as you guys share bits of yourself and you learn of Tracker and all the other automatons and have a general conversation until the wee hours of the morning. And with that, you feel the call of sleep You do have other places you could sleep. There are the sleeper cars that have bunk beds, and everybody could probably fit in one if Red laid on the floor, but it's up to you. Where do you guys sleep? Is there anything that would like to be said or done before sleep?
Min, I have to thank you.
Oh?
By some happenstance, we met each other, but you gave closure to a part of me that I didn't understand, but now I do.
The thing with the Kelpie in the home.
Yes.
No, it was nice to meet too. I got to see a little glimpse of where I'm supposed to be from.
Well, with that, I need to hit the hay.
Probably should too.
Is it weird having a bed that's like could fit 100 of you?
It's awesome.
It's like
You can
sleeping on a
roll as much
basketball
as you
court.
like, and you'll never fall off the edge.
I would just imagine Mintala just like rolling in a circle all night, constantly. It's like, I just like shifting to my left side as he just slowly moves.
It keeps flipping onto back and front, but always flips the same way and never reaches the end. It's great.
I love it.
There's always a cool side of the pillow. It's just a whole different section of pillow you can go to.
You always go to the cool side of the pillow. That's so unfair. With nightfall comes peace after a hectic day. The lights off in the distance dip out and start to extinguish as the sun starts to rise. Everybody roll me a perception check.
Ooh,
19. I rolled a 10.
23.
21.
We perceiving.
18, I rolled a 10.
With Kyoko and Azuka, since you guys went to sleep early, you kind of woke up earlier than everybody else. And as that happens, as your eyes wake up, you hear this odd, like, thump, 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 off in the distance towards the back of the train.
Kyoko will look out the window.
You see Tracker holding off to the side of the train with his arm stuck out, his forearm expanded out into a crossbow, and he is shooting the last of an orc raiding tribe that had charged at the train. And you see Chief, who is also on the back, just shoving another person off. And then them realizing they're probably not going to get there and peeling off. So by making friends, y'all avoided an encounter.
Nice.
No, rub my eyes and just go, oh yeah, they also agreed to kind of be the guards of the train since they're kind of feeding off the energy core that's powering the version thing. I don't know all the technical terms.
Kyoko just
Morning.
nods. Because she's still in fox form, so.
All right, and I believe you are no longer fatigued.
Yeah.
Yay!
Thank goodness. Fatigue is rough. It drops everything down.
It's not great at all.
Yeah.
Sleep is phenomenal.
Agree.
With
I am gonna get some free food. Do you want anything? I promise I won't drop it this time. Maybe.
She kind of like tilts one of her ears and then nods.
as you were saying this, you hear a bing over the radio, and it's
Serving breakfast in the kitchen. We will be having waffles, pancakes, bacon, eggs. steak left over from the other night, because who doesn't love a good steak and eggs in the morning? We will be having mimosas as well for any and all who will be willing to participate.
I turn back to Kyoko. Any of those pique your interest? I could just get one of everything, technically.
Kyoko just kind of like nods.
Awesome. I'm gonna head over to the dining cart.
Yeah, I want a mimosa now. Damn it, Kevin.
Hey, it does actually sound pretty good at the moment.
Yeah.
So with that, are you guys both going to the dining car? What's the plan of action here?
And Kyoko will stay in the car. She's gonna change back into her human form, which is not pleasant to watch. So
Fair. So
she will
Asuka
meet
leaves,
them in the kitchen or in the dining area.
and we'll say the loudspeaker wakes up Chuck and Mintala and Red. It's roughly 7 o'clock, 7:30 in the morning.
I imagine Chuck like swings his legs off the bed and just puts them on the dirt that is red and goes, "Well, I never thought I'd feel this close to nature in the morning."
Oh, sorry, I'm on you.
And he kind of like pulls himself out. Like you have this weird feeling of like as like the dirt and rock reforms into big ol' Red. As Azuka leaves the room to head to the dining lounge. You head to the dining car. When you get in, you see the same person behind the bar. You see a couple of stragglers coming in. In the far corner, one of the only people who's actually sitting down and eating here, a lot of people are. You see the gentleman couple from the day prior holding one with steak and one with just a pile of eggs and walking back to their sleeper car. You see the man who has the incredibly nice Italian suit with the open collar with some tattoos sticking up in the back of the neck. Had some shades on and just kind of staring out the window, picking at his food.
I go to the bar, I guess, like the food table.
They don't have like a full-on kitchen line, so they have like the person who's out there as the representative who can call the stuff back to the kitchen, and yeah.
Yeah. I sit down and go, I'd like 2 of everything, please.
Much like the night before, we are going for a growing boy. All right. He walks back, starts to call in the order. We would like 1 of everything, apparently.
2, actually, 2. I'm getting some for a friend as well.
2 of every. Oh, you have a friend. That would explain half of the food that you are ordering, but I am not going to judge. Well, mimosas for either of you as well.
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
please.
Do you want just the glass, or should I just bring the pitcher? Is that...
If the pitcher's an option, yeah, just bring the pitcher, yeah. 2 of them, actually.
I mean,
That'd
it
be
is refillable and bottomless. It's literally an arcane tap. It just... It
Sounds
is
good
a
to
tap
me.
that is bottomless mimosas. Literal bottomless mimosas.
great. Let's do it.
It's a portal to the mimosa realm.
There's a mimosa elemental just chilling somewhere who's just being siphoned.
I'll take one of those.
All right, now we have to do a brewery dungeon that has different types of alcoholic elementals, and we're gonna... Okay, I'm gonna go get distracted with this. The food has come prepared incredibly well. You have your medium rare from the other night, same cooked into the steak. Is there anything at all more than I can get for you?
No, not at the moment. We'll see how hungry I am after I'm done with my half.
The man in the far corner kind of walks up, heads up over to the bar. Hey man, let me grab another one of those mimosas from it. And you can see he's already like a little swaying. And you can't tell if he's just really bad at being on the train or if he's just like, hey, if it's bottomless, why not, right? When in Rome, as they say.
Is this the neck tattoo guy or a different guy?
Yeah, neck tattoo.
I got it.
I
There's
would just
nothing
look
wrong,
to
right?
him swaying and then look to the guy behind the bar and just go, I don't know, the customer's always right, I guess.
See? You should listen to the young man. I like it. By the way, nice to meet you. The name's Ace. As his hand just
Nice
is
to
like,
meet you. I just take his
Besides,
hand and
like-
shake it. Nice to meet you, Ace.
that's good. So I see you're heading to Chicago as well. What brings you there?
Just on an errand run, really, for a family friend.
That must be some family friend getting a ticket on this ride.
Yeah,
I think at this point, Chuck comes through the door into the dining car.
I'm not saying it's out of the ordinary, but you know, it's a little out of the ordinary.
I'm pretty out of the ordinary. Yeah,
I like you. That's fun.
thank you. I like me too.
Yeah. Oh, hey there, fella.
Good morning.
Yeah,
You-
good morning to you too.
You
When
two.
Ace isn't facing me, I'll like do like the gesture to Chuck, so he's like, he's a bit.
Do you want to give me a sleight of hand?
Sure. Would it be stealth?
Stealth, for sure.
Stealth. Okay. 22. It's a 12 on the die.
Yeah, I rolled a 5, even with modifiers. No. Hey, it's bottomless. Come on, we gotta take advantage of this situation. Come on, Pointy. As he like points at the elven person behind the bar. He's like, let's keep it going.
Chuck is just observing for a second and going, Do you know this guy, Zuka?
No, he just kind of walked up and started talking. His name is Ace.
Yeah, I mean, we're all strangers until we're friends, right?
I mean, I guess that's the order it usually goes in, yeah.
Yeah, you see? Azuka's making sense again.
What brings you to this train, Ace?
I'm just doing a little look around, kind of testing the waters, as it were.
Getting the feet wet.
Less of, is this good for business? You know? Because if you want to get stuff from A to B, and you don't want to hire an entire carriage force and guards and everything, if there's a train that goes straight bam bam, day and a half, oh, man, ain't that something?
What kind of business you in?
Bah. He kind of like stumbles back a little bit. We don't need to talk. We don't need to talk business. Make me a perception check.
I'll make one. I definitely lost interest once you said business, but I'll look.
16, I rolled an 8.
I rolled 21. I rolled a 14 on the die.
Okay. Azuka made the check. Roll me a society check. I want to see if you know what these tattoos might be indicative of.
15. 15 on the die.
Talk amongst yourselves. I'm gonna message you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Azuka...
What's going on in Bentham's room?
Bentham, yeah, Bentham. Player Bentham is on the train right now.
Yeah,
All right,
what's
we're gonna
Bentham
jump
doing
all
on the
the way
train?
over to London mid-tear. What is Bentham doing right now?
Oh no. Yeah, Mentalo, I think he was slow to wake up today. He was having a great time in the giant bed, which for everyone else is probably a small bed because it's on a train.
Yeah.
But yeah, he probably has a. Is Kyoko still around in the sleeper car area?
Yeah, she probably is just finishing transforming.
Okay. You probably hear like a very, very tiny knock on the door.
Ooh. I guess she will assume that that's Mentala because she's kind of creepy like that. Mentala, come on in. I really would love to hear all about your engagement.
You hear like from the other side of the door, oh, for God's sake! And then like the door And then he's, walks in the small gap that he's made in the door. I'm not engaged. Everyone keeps saying this. I met the doll that we briefly saw that kid had out of the train, and it was in the train, and she wasn't aboard the train, and then it was alive. And then everyone decided that they were my girlfriend. It wasn't my idea.
Well,
So you're
did you make
opening
sure
up the door
she's
a little bit into the sleeper car. that
Yeah,
Kyoko's
I'll-
in.
into
Kyoko will close
Kyoko's
it.
section.
Yeah, Kyoko will close
As
it behind
you
him.
open it to
Oh.
do that, you hear Lottie just da da da, like skipping down the train towards you, just loudly singing like, "Where's my husband?"
I'm not here.
Like,
I'm not here. I'm not here. I'm not here. And I like go and hide back against the door frame. Like, I'm not here.
I'll find you. Just going down.
Kyoko will close the door, and she just smiles at. Does she know she's not your betrothed?
Apparently not.
Well,
This wasn't my idea. It just kind of happened. I don't know why.
here's the thing.
Everyone
with
is on board with this
relationships.
except me.
You've got to make it clear to the other person what your intentions are.
You didn't see what happened when we tried arm wrestling.
Arm wrestling is not saying the words, I don't want to be in a relationship with you.
She also can become a giant.
What does this have to do with you being engaged, though?
Well, we're not. But also, I am scared.
To tell her that you don't want to be in a relationship?
Just to run. I'm just hoping that we can get to Chicago and then leave. And then there's this wonderful plan where she stays on the train and goes in the opposite direction at the speed of a train. And then I can deal with it when we get back to LA.
Oh, Mentala, that's just going to make it worse for you.
Maybe I just never go back. New York seems nice.
You can't hide from your problems. Problems will always find their way back to you. But you can try. She grins.
I can try.
I wouldn't advise it, though.
I'm gonna try it for now.
All right. She might have a whole wedding planned by the time you get back.
Oh God.
We have to get Alicia back for round 2, right?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe I can send a message to Cade.
What would you tell him? My fiance's on the way?
I don't know. I haven't worked that part out yet.
Right. Why don't you just tell her how you feel?
Well, that I don't.
Yes.
That mainly I'm just terrified of her ability to smash me into a small speck.
Well, if you need a company, someone can assist you as well. If you're frightened. Would she really hurt you if she's considering you her future husband?
I don't know.
Remember
She's
the headbutt from earlier.
yeah. No, there was. The arm wrestle was pretty violent. She did headbutt me. She has a giant hammer. Somehow.
Some people would be into that.
Well, I'm not.
Well, you got to make it clear what you want. That's the best way to have a relationship. Not that I'm...
But I don't even
one-
want one. That's the problem. I just want to get away from this person as rapidly as possible.
I get that. I'm saying either way, whether you want the relationship or not. Communication's the most important part of it.
This wasn't my idea.
What can I help you with, Mentala? Or was this your concern? How-
Oh, I was just coming back to ask how you were doing because you were having weird time shenanigans going on.
Yeah, I think
the vision of what was to come did me in. Sometimes that happens. I haven't had something like that happen since I was really in Chicago, funnily enough.
Is it like a branches deal where like the more ways it can branch, the more it like messes with you? Because it was a very chaotic situation. It could have gone so many different ways. So it's like, you know, it's a single point that goes in like 20 directions. So it like.
Potentially. I don't quite know what fate has in store or how fate plans to tell and share a story, but she definitely did me under. I'm feeling better today, though.
Yeah, now that we picked our branch, it's all good again.
Well, I hope so.
Till the next
Sometimes
time unusual decisions come up.
You'd be surprised how little decisions can be most unusual. Like, had you not opened the door? Had you took a little longer to make it down the hallway? What would
Uncle would
happen?
have found me. Oh no.
But big things could have changed. Maybe you would have had a better conversation with her.
Well, right now I want to eat.
I would agree with that. And she will, like, offer her hand to pick you up.
We'll hop up onto the hand.
And she'll open the door and head out to the
As
to
you
meet
go
up
to
with the
open the
rest.
door, you feel like this. You want to pause for a second
Okay.
and wait.
She waits.
As you hear around the corner, many men, just running up and down the outside of the sleeper car, and you hear it disappear back into the farther end of the train cars. And you have the, and now we go.
And then she
Okay, let's
opens
go.
the door. And she walks through. I think Kyoko's kind of grinning at this. She finds it a little bit amusing. Part of her
then-
chaotically wants to just be like, he's over here, but she can see that Mentala's stressed out, so she's not going to.
In that want and in that mischievous nature, you have this little flash, this half flash of just a photo of Lottie mid-air, arms spread out halfway towards Min. As Min is turned and running in the opposite direction, jumping out of your hand. And then it just goes away and you're just chuckling to yourself of what could have been. And we will go back to Azuka and Chuck. Now that you guys are on your way, feel free to hop in at any moment.
Sounds good.
Have we been served the food that I've ordered, or is that going to take a bit?
I mean, you had steaks. It takes a second, but we'll say it's close to ready. And the guy's he's down like another halfway through his next mimosa. It's like, so yeah, man, it's wait, let me do my thing. Are you wearing your hat right now, Chuck? Well, I'll be damned. We got ourselves a little legacy. Mr. Ammo himself. Well, would you look at that? Now, isn't this something
did.
fun?
Not you.
Oh.
Karen, Tyler.
I was like, how long have I been muted?
Oh, a legacy.
Yeah. Mr. Ammo!
I don't know why that'd be called a legacy. That's my company, yes.
Yeah, but the way you've hit the world, man, you're gonna be remembered for a while. Long while.
Yes.
Hey, you inspired a lot of people in Chicago. Got a lot of small businesses trying to do what you do. They can't stand to the giant, huh? He kind of goes and does like a little play boxing. As he goes to do that, Azuka, when you see him shift into the form to the playboxing. It is tight. It is solid form. His hands are limp, and as he goes in, it like perfectly holds in, and you just see him hit like 3 different places, and you know from training, like, that's a nerve cluster, that's an organ, that's this, and he's just like,
Yeah, I think I'm just like kind of into my steak, just kind of trying to seem casual, but definitely watching his stance as he does this.
As that happens, Chuck, since you roll me another perception check.
20 total, 12 on the die.
Perfect. As he does those little play jabs, you see as his coat flies up, you see a gun on one side and a knife on the other. As his jacket flares, you see those little shoulder holsters. Words, man.
One of those small businesses hook you up?
Oh, yeah, I'm pretty proud of this. Pulls out a nice 1911. Kind of spins it around. So good. Spins it around, pops out the magazine, pulls off the slide, hands it to you empty. Gotta get those beautiful 45s in there, right? Semi-automatic. Oh, beautiful. A little bit of upkeep, but worth it.
Yeah, I tend to prefer less clips. They do have a tendency to jam.
Ooh, Cylinder Man. I see. So you like the revolvers. Now, those are fun. Don't get me wrong. But, I like to be able to go pop, click, open, come in. It goes with the whole flow of everything. And then he meticulously inputs the round that he had popped out into the magazine, pops it into his jacket in like a fluid motion. Yeah.
What kind of business you say you're in?
Business. I like to think of myself as a problem solver.
Aren't we all?
Aren't we all? We'll say at this moment, everybody else comes in.
I'll take one of those mimosas.
That's right. Yeah, I'm having a drink with Charles Spadina. Look at that.
Again, we're getting 2 pictures anyway, so you can have some with that if you want.
Well, I think we're in for something if y'all are drinking this much.
Holy hello. That is a Sprite. Hey, nice to meet you.
Hey. Name's Min.
He like puts a finger up. I'm Ace.
I'm gonna like punch the finger.
Yeah, see, you get it. You get it. I like this guy. And the dime that you are on. My God, lady. Hello.
Well, nice to meet you. And I
He
think
does a little like bow.
find a seat and put Mentala down somewhere where he can eat.
I hop off onto a table.
Yeah, I ordered 2 of everything. I think they're like halfway done with the order, so they should bring it out at some point.
Would you like me to bring it out as it is ready or everything all together?
As it's ready, I think. Yeah.
Oh, phenomenal. I will go and grab the eggs and bacon. The steak will be on the way, but do not worry. The waffle and pancake combination that you have ordered, I also get it. Hard decision to make. I'll go and grab that.
I'm not great at deciding on things.
He comes back in with just one arm straight down and the other arm just tray on tray on tray. And he just walks on in, pops it in as you guys sit down in a booth.
Asuka,
Who wants to roll for breakfast?
Well, we
I'll
know.
roll for breakfast.
Come on, breakfast king, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's see if it keeps my streak keeps going. Okay.
I know, I'm so hungry now too, Chad.
Oh, me too.
So I'm rolling just a flat D20, right? Because I'm not cooking
B, you
it.
can come
Flat
join us.
D20.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh no, with 3!
Everybody
My
gets to
reign
do it.
ends.
This is why they're offering free mimosas, is because they don't want you to know
Yeah.
how bad the food is.
It's train food. You got a steak on a train. I know this is like life of luxury and roaring 20s. We got everything. But, you know, who doesn't like lobster on a plane?
I'm rolling for sauce selection.
Okay.
Should call,
Sauce?
should call the episode.
Oh my god, this gets progressively worse.
It was on a 20 and then it was like, nah, 2.
We got a
What?
3
Take
and then a
3D
2.
dice.
What type of sauces were
Oh
you
my
looking for? Was
gosh.
it like a hot sauce? Were you looking for like a maple syrup?
I was looking for like, you know, your actual good sauces that you put on stuff that aren't ketchup, and I think all that's there is ketchup.
There is
It's just
not,
mayo.
It's ketchup and mayo. That's all you have.
It is actually one of those weird combo bottles. It's more of like a pink
Oh,
sauce, and
no.
only the green Tapatio, or the green Tabasco.
I look
That's-
down at the foods and then up at the waiter and just go, okay, I see why. I see.
I do apologize for our lack of variety. The Davies, unfortunately, burnt through a lot of that with their demanding of French fries last night at the poker game.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes, that is the reason we are doing bottomless mimosas. I do apologize. If there's anything I can do to try to whip something together, please let me know.
It's fine.
Mintala, because you are so small, roll me a d20. Let's see if you can notice like a bottle that rolled under someplace.
Okay.
Come on.
11.
Okay.
All right, and as Kyoko sits down, maybe she felt the emotional vibrations of somebody who stashed a bottle. Huh?
Okay.
I'm trying here. I'm reaching for you
Okay,
guys.
okay.
Maybe she witnessed a future in which a
22.
bottle was found.
Okay. With that,
It was a 12 on the die, though.
with a 22, 12 on the die, y'all get a single temporary hit point. You find a half empty bottle of Heinz ketchup.
Hey, that one
Or the
temporary HP could
appropriate-
save us.
It
The
could.
appropriate whatever legal
Wait, hold up.
version
Why
that
is
you
it
would have.
ketchup? That's a negative point for me. I'm gonna lose a hit point.
Oh, I'm sorry, Chuck. What sauce were you hoping for?
Excuse me. You got a nice jar of salsa to go on something. You got barbecue sauce. Like if you're doing stuff with steak, it ain't ketchup. If you're doing stuff with eggs, it ain't ketchup.
If you are hoping for a salsa, we do not have peppers, but I can potentially whip up some nice pico de gallo.
Actually, that's not bad.
Okay, I will let them know. So a nice little pico comes out.
Don't make ketchup give me a point.
There is nothing wrong with ketchup in breakfast. Ketchup and hash browns is
No.
just French fries.
No. Very wrong. Disagree.
You're wrong.
If
You're
the
wrong.
food is bad, then it can be improved with ketchup.
So there you go. Ketchup brings everything to a nice 6. If it's a 9, it becomes a 6. If it's a 2, it becomes a 6. You know?
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm right there with you.
It's,
Right
sometimes
there
you
with
need a lot of
It-
ketchup,
it
but it
keeps
becomes
it at the
okay.
same level or makes it worse.
you. We live in 2 different planets, my friend. 2 different planets. So you guys actually have a nice breakfast and enjoy the ride. Have very odd conversation with Ace as he eventually just, all right, I'm starting to feel the hangover hit on, so I'm gonna head on out. Y'all have a lovely time. And as he goes to do the finger guns, Chuck, you notice a bullet tattoo on his wrist that goes from the ulna up into, and it looks like a large caliber. You can't tell exactly what kind of bullet it is, but it's a large caliber.
Bullet tattoo.
It almost looks
Once-
like a 50 cal bullet.
Fair.
Once he leaves, and I like see him like exit the room.
Yeah.
Very casually, I'm just gonna like kind to my my eggs, my fried eggs. Just go. He's definitely part of the mafia in LA, one of the mafia families, and then eat the egg. I recognize the tattoos.
And it clicks together for Chuck that one of the bits of tattoo coming up the top was reminiscent of a mafia family you had once dealt with.
Yeah, Cade had like portfolios on some families, and I'll be honest, I wasn't meant to be in his office. I'll admit it, but I kind of like snuck in when he was out and just kind of tried to figure out what exactly he was doing. Pretty sure he saw that coming, so kept all of the boring stuff up top because I knew I'd lose interest pretty quickly. Yeah, I kind of ran into some of those folders, and I recognized that.
I love how
That's
the old tutelage of Azuka had to be like fighting, magic, history, society, magic.
You just see Chuck isn't eating a thing, and he's just staring at the door where the guy left from.
Kyoko will take a sip of her mimosa, and I'm assuming that you know how normally you put a mimosa in like a nice glass made for mimosa. It's just like in a normal glass. That's what I'm assuming is happening here.
It's actually in like a really nice whiskey glass. It's not a mimosa glass. It still has like the crystal carved curvatures, and it's nice to hold, but it's like, this isn't right, man.
Yeah. I think she takes a sip and she notices the way Chuck's kind of like staring off and says, "You all right over there, Chuck?"
Yeah, it seems history has a habit of catching up with you.
Well, I was just talking to Matala about that. I can't hide from the past.
Matala's broken off like the end of a piece of bacon, which now for him is like a giant piece of bacon. He's like, "Oh, so do you think he came here for us, or we just run into him?"
You see Red, who's behind him, pick up a piece of bacon with a fork and just munch on the fork, and you hear the snap of the fork, and you hear like the grinding of the metal in the teeth.
I don't know if the fork goes into like the free food I get with my bet. So like if you have to pay for that, just keep that in mind.
What?
Nothing.
Okay.
He's just no food on it, just eats the rest of the fork and picks up a knife. Bentham, where do you want Red to start getting like studs? My thought is like he gets studs like eyebrows of like little bits of
Love
like
it.
iron. Yeah. Perfect. So you see these little
Iron filing eyebrows. There we
yeah,
go.
perfect.
Oh, hey.
I like it.
Nice.
I don't think he's here for us. But he's definitely here for the train. Not like to rob it necessarily, but
Okay, cool. Because yeah, we kind of dealt with one kind of heist thing going on. I don't think I have the energy for another one.
Yeah, they have to form a queue at this point.
As you guys are having this conversation, you notice off in the distance, you start to see the overgrown vegetation retaken outskirts of Chicago residential areas. You see a lot of buildings have fallen over. You see large structures that are half destroyed. You see anything that is larger than like 5-6 stories, like half of it's fallen over the side. You see buildings that have fallen against each other off in the distance. And you just hear over the loudspeaker,
We are arriving soon to the Chicago station. Thank you so much for riding the Denver Express on a maiden voyage and with almost, and I will say almost, we have a classification on this, almost no interruptions.
Well, if the guy's just riding the train like us, then all power to him.
Are you worried
But my
about
report-
something, Chuck?
He could report back that we're here, and then people know about that. Maybe that's bad. I don't know.
when have you known me to not be worried about something?
Fair enough, but sometimes worry comes from a place that should be shared with others.
If something happens, then sure.
Azuka, you hear a little chill.
So now who's the one with secrets? All of that bravado. Yet hides so much himself. Does it make you think?
I think I will respond to this. And I say, not aloud, this is mentally to this devil. We seem to have your secrets as well.
As you say that, boom, white space. You guys see Azuka's eyes just kind of like dilate and just kind of rest for a moment. As you are now in the train, sitting across from your reflection, from the shadow, from the devil, who is sitting there eating a breakfast of their own.
Well, I believe after our recent confrontation, I'll say, I do apologize
Is that
that I
what you wanna
lost my
call it?
temper. Oh, look, we all lose our temper from time to time, right? Look, I'm a little caught in this cage. I got a little stir crazy. Can you blame me? I need to share this space the same as you.
Why did you pull me here?
You called me out for having secrets.
Because you quite clearly do.
Don't we all? I mean, let's be honest, you have no secrets from me. I watch everything you do. So, hey, if anything, I'm the most accepting person in your life.
Mm-hmm.
I accept you for everything you are, every flaw you've ever done, every bad thought you've ever had, every punch that went into that goblin's head until it stopped moving. But far be it from me to hold the weight of the past against what we deal with in the present. You have questions.
I lean back in the booth within this white space.
As you lean back, he leans forward.
Who was that person with the chains that attacked us in the fire station?
That idiot, Roland, as he called himself here. He was an old associate of mine, someone who used to do the things that I told him to do instead of just assuming.
Are there others?
That used to listen to me? Oh, countless.
Okay,
Come
let
on.
me rephrase that question. Are there others that I have to worry about?
That is a big question. The thought proceed. The hierarchy of things in hell is all about power. If I look weak, or shall I say if you look weak, that'll invite competition to rise in the ranks. So once upon a time, I was a favorite son. Now everybody wants to be. So, let's just talk. No facade. What do you say?
Okay. No facade?
No facade.
As you notice the actual echoes of his voice of trying to sound superior and all-powerful around you
Have dwindled down. And let's just chat.
What did Roland, and I can only assume the other followers, think you want?
Other. Oh, those chain... What was it? The bones. The bone people. Those were new. That was actually pretty interesting. I'd never seen that before. And those weren't mine. Which means somebody's doing something. Roland probably wanted to set me free. Thinking if, he killed you, I would be set free in hell. Because while you have this little mortal soul that, when your precious self falls apart, dissipates into the ether, mine has a purpose, and I go back, and I'm reborn. And then I repeat the cycle again and again. So he probably thought that either he could take me, which, no, or he could set me free. I respect the attempt, to be honest, although this has been fun.
Why was I bound to you?
There are gaps in even my memory, Azuka. I remember being at Asmodeus' sign. There's a flash. And then I remember a womb. And crying, God, you cried. You were born onto stone ground, so it makes sense the cold is a bit biting. They wanted power. They were so happy when you fell out.
Okay. What do you want?
I want to be. Imagine things from my perspective. You have all the freedoms in the world, no judgment, infinite possibilities. Infinite lovers, infinite fights, infinite everything. All I have to do is go for it. Then you're in a prison, staring at a world pass you by. Decades.
If you
Sorry
were
if I
said,
lashed out. I was in solitary confinement for 24 years.
yeah, well, don't let it happen again.
That's cute.
I remember how the last confrontation ended.
That was so well done. Your bravado, your anger, your control. Cade has taught you well. I'm
If you were
proud to be a
let
part of
free,
us.
if you were let free, what would you do?
To be honest, it might seem a little boring, but probably go back to hell. Go and find some town to corrupt. Do
You could have left
devil
that and go back to
things.
hell. Okay.
It depends on the way that I'm released. If I am forced back, it's a little bit harder to get here now. The back channels are all there are. The main gates are closed unless we are invited. We can't show up. It takes you, humans, elves, dwarves, gnomes, the Strix, the puppets. You have to call us here.
I suppose my final question for now. What's your name?
Or do I want to give all the spoilers away? We'll start with a title, if that's okay.
Fine.
No fight. It was actually, maybe I go looking for a fight. That's something I'll work on. But you may call me the Duke of Many Faces. It's a pleasure to announce myself finally to you, Azuka.
And as he does that, the other half of the face of Shadow and all of the clothing dissipates and falls away. Bare-chested, no form of, again, gender whatsoever. Still complete androgyny, hair going down to the shoulders. Defined jaw-kind eyes where the hips are is actually just like a jacket that's been tied around and fallen back now, and with some comfortable pants, we'll call them.
Well, Duke, I don't want you. I'll be quite honest with you, so
Oh,
I'm
I'm
finding a
hurt.
way to let you free. But until then, don't make life harder for me.
I'm gonna have my fun. Obviously, I'm not gonna try to get you killed or anything because we're so bound to this. But I need conversation the same as you. I'll take it when I can get it.
Give me a warning, at the very least. I'm in the middle of breakfast.
Fine, we'll come to some sort of terms on when and where. But I do want our fights to continue. You grow stronger every time. Consider it training in Cade's absence. It's not like Chuck and Mintala are doing what they were told to do. Chuck to teach you fighting, Mintala to teach you spells. Did Cade really think that was going to happen?
We've been up against a bit too much, really, to have time for that, and I don't think even Cade really saw that coming, so
Fair.
that's no fault of theirs.
Well then I guess I have one last question for you. Where do you sit with Kyoko? You guys spend a lot of time together.
I would like to try and leave this space.
As that happens, you see the world start to come back in as you attempt to leave.
See you later, Pinocchio. Sorry I was pulling your strings.
And you're back. Maybe 5-10 seconds has passed.
Hey, you good?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna be frank and honest with you because you all know. Had this little chat with the devil.
Okay.
Yeah. Got some questions answered and some questions avoided.
And maybe look around before we talk about such things. You never know who's listening.
Yeah, fair. That's a good point.
Make a perception check. If anybody who would be curious as to think who is listening.
Ooh, that was really bad.
Same.
11, 4 on
I
the
rolled
die.
a 2 for
Ooh,
a 10.
31.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Okay, Kyoko.
Forget everyone else's rolls.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
You've noticed that the person behind the bar has stopped polishing a glass. It's not making like eye contact with you guys, not looking away, but noticing the lull in the conversation, starts picking it up again.
Sometimes it's people you least expect.
And as that happens, the engineer, the half-dwarf girl, walks in, hands in the pockets, staring at the ground, goes up, sits up at the bar, takes the pitcher, takes the glass, and just starts drinking.
Somebody's not happy that she's been called out as a fraud.
Also a murderer.
She does have a
Well.
very defeated look on her face.
Kyoko lifts up her glass and kind of looks at you all. Here's to new companions in friendship.
And
And
wives.
And what I don't think that's exactly what Mentala's impressions are, but and wives if you'd like.
And why does she like? And clink glasses.
It's with
I've
the
got a
clinking
shot
of
glass that I'm
I think-
like holding in both hands.
Kyoko will take a sip from hers and be like, "A wife wouldn't be so bad, would it?" Not really talking to you, Mentala, more talking to herself. Puts down the glass.
I think I'm going to go talk to the engineer.
Ooh, have fun with
Well,
that.
enjoy your conversation.
This will be fun.
This isn't a future wife situation, is it?
He just kind of gives Kyoko a glare.
She winks at him.
You
Just
doing all
work with
right?
Fire a lot.
Yeah, I'm doing fine.
You know, just because you didn't make the engine doesn't mean you weren't smart in making this whole train function off of the power source.
I took something that nobody could see anything from. Yeah, I made something beautiful with it. And the minute somebody pokes a hole in the plans that I have made, none of it's validated. Do they curse the person who found oil for making an engine around it, but not making the oil itself?
No, but they certainly curse the person who builds the weapons that kill lots and lots of people.
It's not fair.
You think I'm talking about you?
I could only understand what you say from my own perspective. For me, it's having to prove my engineering prowess to the dwarves back home. To do twice as good as they do. To have them consider me as part of them.
And
much
here
as-
you are, on the most sophisticated train that the world has seen since the tear.
Yeah. Now let's hope if this thing gets back to Denver in one piece, that maybe I could have a drink at the halls with him.
You know, validation from others is not worth it at the end.
It's less about the validation, but more about the acceptance. If that makes any sense to you. It's not the fact that I can do it. It's the fact that when I accomplish something, it's looked at as if like, oh well, good for you. Nobody sees pride in it. Like I have my pride in what I make. But you know.
Maybe you're searching for acceptance from the wrong people.
Well, you know, my mother and father never really kept in touch, and I have a really hard time connecting with my father. But I really think my daddy issues stem from a lack of conversation from random strangers at bars about my personal life.
I'm merely saying that sometimes we look for validation in the wrong places.
And I am glad that I have the recognition of a stranger. By the way, nice to meet you, Tara. Maybe if you approach a woman, names are great. Everyone's got one.
Yeah. Name's Charles. Charles Spadina.
There's Charles Spadina. Fuck me sideways. Hi. Sorry,
some-
that was crass. Hi. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes names cloud people's minds.
I'm certain. There's probably a lot of lassies that you walk around saying, oh, my name's Charles, you get weak at the knees, huh?
No. Maybe, but no. I'm merely saying that looking for belonging in a place that's already shunted you out is a fruitless and unrewarding venture.
But there is something so satisfying about forcing it down their throats that they have to accept what I'm capable of, you know?
Or you beat them out of business.
That... I guess. But...
If they refuse to acknowledge your capabilities, beat them.
Like, I could do that very easily. Oh, I made a masterwork sword. Oh, I have a wonderful piece of armor that goes in between a tuxedo jacket. I made a train run off of magic. I'm good.
And that's the attitude that I was looking for.
So, Mr. Spadina, why are you over here? What drew you from your corner of friendship into this empty bar stool? Yes, those engineers have private rooms up at the front, but I don't know if that's exactly what you're after. We only have a couple of hours before I make it to Chicago. Not saying that I'm not interested in it, but time's a ticking.
That's not what I'm here about. I'm merely acknowledging talent that seems unseen.
Well, thank you.
Perhaps there's a lot that you can bring to this world that you haven't done so yet.
Got a long life ahead of me. Yeah, I'm a spry when I'm only in my 40s.
I'd be curious if you'd be interested in actually showcasing your work.
Are you kidding?
I'd be intrigued to learn about it.
Yeah, I love that. If I'm in Denver and you're ever there at the same time, I could take apart the engine, show you how they bridge the gap between the cores into the pressure system, create the valve movement. Yeah.
Wouldn't it be best to talk about while the train is actually functioning and moving without
So I'm not
taking it
sticking my
apart?
hand in there. Well, that's moving. That's how you lose limbs. You see what it did to that robot they fell under? I feel bad about that. I thought they were trying to take it. I was defending what was mine. It couldn't even speak. All I heard was like it was. I didn't know he was a person. She like downs her entire mimosa, puts it up, fills it up.
Chuck's gonna put his hand on her shoulder. There are things in all of our pasts we cannot change. It seems that their friends hold no ill will. And if anything, you know now the better to listen when somebody even can't speak.
There's a lot in this world that if you don't jump, it jumps first. And a lot of us grew up that way. So it's going to be a hard thing to unlearn. Maybe once I get this place secured a little bit more and I have more confidence in it, in my security, then I can take a beat to not jump first. But are you offering me a job? If you like what you see.
I would say I'm more intrigued as an engineer myself. A mechanic.
I mean, I'll take it.
And if things align, maybe there is an opportunity.
Then how about we set a date for back in Los Angeles? Huh? I'm getting these guys there. If anything, I can hold up. Maybe take this back to Denver for a bit. I'll come and meet you.
Sounds good to me. Needless to say, forgive yourself. And don't fight for those that refuse to give you the time of day.
But wouldn't it just be so satisfying? And you hear a clunk, and that fell apart. Well, if you'll excuse me, I will go and fix this pile of this lovely train that I built myself. That is a good thing. See, it's shifting of perspectives and how you speak about yourself and your own art. It gives you confidence. Ashlag backs away and starts walking out the door.
And he just raises his mimosa glass just before she turns away.
Perfect. And with that, you guys are back to being the only ones in the dining car.
I think while Chuck was speaking to, was it Tara?
Tara.
I would have continued with the conversation with Kyoko and Mentala and just go, and this time whispering, have any of you heard of the Duke of Many Faces?
Ooh.
Can I make a roll?
Yeah.
Go for it.
What am I rolling?
What?
Let's...
Like
See.
arcana, occultism,
This would
religion,
be-
society?
It's like a combination of society and occultism to me, because I feel like the knowledge of devils would definitely be occult.
Occultism is my thing.
So I feel like let's go for it.
Not today. 14.
I'll roll as
But
well.
it ain't my
but
thing. So I got a 7 with 5.
Ooh.
I rolled a 9. It's not my
It
thing.
just
either.
kept going downhill.
Obviously, I'm not in this conversation, but I want to roll for Chuck for the hell of it.
Go for it.
Which was a nat 20.
It would be funny if it was a nat 20.
Um,
So 14, 7, and a 9.
all you get with a 14 is back in the day you were reading books about different planes, different structures, different societies, and there was one paragraph that alluded to the Duke of Many Faces maybe being what is known as Lord of the Fourth.
I'd like, apparently he was Asmodeus' favorite.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really bad.
Kyoko will share
Yeah.
her part of it, but says, whatever it
What was
is,
it for?
I think it's best to keep quiet in this company.
I mean, I will be honest with all of you. I assume you probably kind of guessed it, but there's not much I can hide from him. Anything I know, he kind of knows. But unfortunately, he doesn't really go the opposite way. At least not at the moment. I don't know. He's not as forthcoming as he kind of implied he would be when we started talking.
No one ever
You feel
is.
a little tinge in your ear.
If you want to switch places, that could be arranged for a while. You can watch me.
Out loud, still a whisper, but only for the group to hear. But in response to him, but also out loud, I say, "No, I'd rather not switch places with you, Duke."
Fine.
Mm,
Oh boy.
just be careful with that. If you need anything, you know where to find us.
Yeah, I know. I have it under control so far.
I gotta find a way to get that sorted out. Like, send him back wherever he came from. Just like sever the link. Something. I don't know. I don't know how it came about in the first place. This is old. This arcade business.
The only problem
But,
with that is he'll just find a new host.
well, what if he doesn't?
He did say if he does get released, he plans on going back to hell, which I was like, cool, yeah, that's great. And then he said he was going to find a village to corrupt, so that was like less cool, less great.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I can handle it. I've kind of handled it for the past 24 years. A couple of more weeks is nothing, and honestly, a couple more years is nothing. I'll just talk to Cade and see if he's made any headway on that, because I can only assume he's been working on it since the day he found out, or I could hope.
Well, we'll do our best to help you sort it out.
Best thing to do is probably stick to the mission. If this emerald turns out to be what Cade needs to, like, I don't know, make a portal back to the other world at least or something, then he gains access to a whole world full of magical specialists who might know how to do like a exorcism.
Oh, exorcism sounds kind of scary, but I guess that's kind of what I need. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just disconnecting you from the devil. He's already in there. It's just getting him out.
There are people here in this world that can do exorcisms.
I don't know whether or
Well,
not it was real
possession
demons they were
is-
exercising before.
I
It
mean,
might have been,
now,
to be fair.
I'm not talking about prior times.
I suppose if there's
As-
people here that can put demons into someone, there's people that can get them out.
As that conversation starts going, you hear the whoosh, whoosh, whoosh as you guys start passing by buildings, as you now are going into the residential area of Chicago. And you hear
15 minutes before we arrive at the station, barring any other obstructions. So if you have anything that was taken on with you, make sure you take it off, because we will not be turning around for a lost pair of spectacles.
Well, it
Well-
appears we should be packing up our things.
Yes, and I think getting off the train as quickly as possible might be in our favor.
All right, then. Quickly.
Yeah. By the way, what's our game like? As I'm packing up, I'm probably gonna be like trying to get as many, like, wrap as many foods left over and like tissues and stuff to take with me, and just be like, what's the game plan when we get to Chicago? Anyway.
Well, I do have
I-
a place there. I don't know about
Oh.
Chuck. He seems to have a place everywhere.
Do I roll now, Kevin?
if you want me to start thinking about it now, sure, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, let's do it. It's just a D20, right?
D20. The higher the better.
14.
You would have with a 14. At one point in time, you had I would say a small house as a place that you would come and stay at when you were doing like a business conference here. It's not anything really fancy. It's not like a full hotel. It's not a full apartment complex. It's like a place you can stay, be it a nice apartment in downtown, be it a nice home, something simple, 2 to 3 bedrooms, garage with parts and stuff.
I would say it's more of an apartment. It's like a hotel apartment.
Sure, we can say that you have like the floor
The owner's suite of a
7,
hotel
yeah,
or something at a like simple hotel.
yeah.
Well, I mean, I really only have a like simple hotel room type of apartment. It's got a small hot plate.
I'm kind of curious to see where Kyoko kind of lives.
Well, I don't live there anymore. It's been a while.
Oh yeah, I'm curious to see where you used to live.
Yeah, it might be nice.
It's interesting times, that's for sure. When I first got here, it was... She kind of looks out the window. It was not what it looks like now. But I suppose before I got here, it wasn't what it looked like when I arrived.
As you look outside, you see that the tracks have actually been built on an old freeway. You see 290 on an old broken down sign. As you're cutting through, you see an old medical center that you remember people being like, oh yeah, we just got back from John H. Stroger. Yeah, we got some med supplies from there. Oh, this is great. Just like the conversations of places around you remember hearing and seeing, and you actually went and helped out a couple of times before you were established in your own business. A lot of memories.
A lot of interesting people I've met so far. But the Haunting Stone is no more here. The building has been repurposed and now is used for something else.
Oh, so we can't, like, stay there.
I'm sure they wouldn't mind us staying, but perhaps not. It's up
Chuck's
to you.
place it is then.
There is a little place in the top of the building where there's an apartment, but below is where the shop is. I think Elizabeth Weaver has made it into a lovely coffee shop these days. But back when I was there, it was very different looking.
Oh, well, we could at least visit.
I think we should.
So, with the end of that conversation, you feel the train starting to slow down as you guys go back to your sleeper car and gather your things as we pull into a fairly rickety station. Denver was nice inside the walls, ready, set up to go. It was more of a spectacle for the town as well. Here it's kind of rough. You're still on the outside of the walls. That is, you know, they haven't really pushed out. They have, you see guards on like sentry and they're roaming around, but there's no physical walls to protect from anything. As you hear that last of the decompressing hydraulics, you see the doors to the train pop open and you're able to step outside and get your first view of Chicago. Similar to what it looks like with Chicago now. Oh yeah, just flex every part. You see the massive buildings off in the distance. You see a little bit more of like brick and brass feel to it, as you see signs of Chicago under with the little flap that goes under new management. You see these large stone walls that have been built. Looks like near scrap metal as well, all put together. You see Ace standing next to the street, lighting up a cigarette. You're just kind of looking around, waiting. As you've come outside, you see the conductor comes by and goes, well, I would like to thank you for everything. Unfortunately, we did sustain a little bit of damage, so before we are able to continue on to New York, we will be needing to do some repairs. That might take a few days. Hopefully that is okay. You seem like people capable enough to get your own hotel, if that's your fancy. I'm certain one of these abandoned homes might be nice if you're able to really get it together.
I think we'll find
we
our
could.
way.
Yeah, we're good on the place to stay kind of front.
Well, that sounds fantastic. Okay. Would you like to take your car with you, or would you like me to hold on to that?
You're asking. Well, we'll take the car.
All right. Well, I'll make sure to get it loaded off as best I can. And he starts walking away, goes over to the train car that has it, pulls a lever, and it starts to like this little segmented ramp comes down as it starts to get unloaded. With that, cars unloaded, brought out onto the street. As Chuck, make me a perception check.
I knew this was coming.
Ooh.
22 with a 14 on the die.
Okay. With a 22, you are, I would be assuming, incredibly suspicious of Ace and
Yes.
everything that goes along there. you see a Duesenberg, an older model to yours, pull up, and 3 men get out, go and shake hands, like very respectful. And with a 22, you'll notice that each of them on their necks has a bullet tattoo as well that are 9mm.
On their necks?
On their necks.
Hmm.
They get out, they have these
As
long
opposed
coats.
to their arm.
They have these long coats, nice brimmed hats, look very familiar to a lot of people that you have dealt with in the past. As they kind of nod and someone opens the door for Ace, he sits in the back, closes up shop, and drives away back into the town. As he gets up to the walls, they open up for him, drive on in, close in.
Yeah, after you see the car has disappeared from sight and everything, you guys can almost easily see that Chuck's like posture and everything else relaxes a bit.
You okay, old man?
Watch your mouth, Azuka.
Are you okay though?
I'm good. I'm good.
You're a terrible liar. And Ezekiel just walks off.
Kyoko
What? I'm good now.
Kyoko smiles and looks at him like looks at Chuck like, you know.
What emotion is Chuck feeling right now? Because I'm assuming Kyoko would feel it vibrating off of him.
There's the semblance of guilt, but also anxiety.
Gotcha. So you would notice a spike of that when
You would
Chuck
probably be able to
clocked Ace.
relate it to when he was at the warehouse in the visions you saw.
So when you saw him preparing for or coming back from an event, he had that same sort of anxiety and almost like increased heart rate. A little
Looks
bit of a
like
fight or
even
flight.
Azuka can feel through your emotions. What's keeping you so anxious?
The past.
Well, past always catches up. Something we should be aware of.
Let's just try and steer clear of the mob. No Chicago-style pizza for any of you.
Hell, we gotta have pizza while
Aw.
we're here. You can't say no to that.
Just trust me. It's best to avoid it.
All right, then.
On that note, the conductor comes up with the keys for your Duesenberg. He goes, "All right, sir, here you are. We'll be seeing you in a couple of days. We will be getting an estimate soon, probably. I mean, they bent the entire metal frame of that back car, so it's probably going to be a 4-day turnaround."
I imagine the hole in the ceiling would add a little bit to that.
Yep. It was something that we had not expected. Who thinks that a doll can go 9 feet tall and burst through solid steel? It's beyond me. I've never seen it coming. Just starts walking away, talking to himself about all of the things that went wrong on the trip.
Well, Chuck is like, how do you know it was the doll?
Some people would say that the doll probably told him.
That would make sense.
And then I was really big, and then I was really small. Then I got really big and angry, you know.
Well, it seems that Azuka would like to head to your place, Kyoko, so would you like to drive?
Oh, I do not want to drive, but I can guide you in the way of where it's at.
Azuka, since Kyoko's giving directions, would you mind if Kyoko took the front seat?
Yeah, sure. That makes sense.
And he's going to press the buttons on his watch. All the doors are going to open for you guys.
It's pretty cool. Okay. As I
Kyoko.
climb in.
We'll give directions to the Two-Hearted Queen, which is the coffee shop.
So Red walks over to Betsy, just
Ma'am,
goes and sits inside. Has a little giddiness to him with his eyebrows. He just goes, And with that, you guys drive off. Before you get into the town, you do come up on the gates. And as you get up to the front, you see people with actual guns outside come up to the car, kind of tap on the window. Are you wearing the hat?
Nope.
Cool.
He's like, roll to see if they know you.
Yep. Actually, there's two of them. All right. As you roll up, so hey there.
He'll roll down the window.
So what brings you to Chicago?
I'm here on a business trip with some friends.
Can you give me some of the names of these friends?
I'm Charles Spadina. Do you really need that info?
Yeah, who's, I don't know, no Spadina.
Well, does that normally work for you, Mr. Chuck?
The guy on the other side. Oh man, I know a Charles Spadina. Okay, it's, this guy's actually kind of a big deal. We can let him in.
The voice. Oh god.
Right.
He was about, Chuck was about to just be like, the creator of ammo. But
Oh, yeah.
the other guy shouted out.
Don't worry, Kenneth, and this guy's gonna be good. It's good business. It's all right. If Jonesy over there vouches for you. But we got a Charles. And
Azuka.
got Charles, we got Zuka.
Mentala.
Okay.
Oh shit, would you look at that? Huh. Cool little fairy. Sprite, sorry. And Kyoko.
Thank you.
You look familiar.
Well,
I've seen you around here before, I remember the ears.
most likely.
No way. Are you the one who could see the future?
I don't know about the future, but
Yo, the boss man. The king of Chicago. That man likes you. Hey, talks about you all the time. You helped him get started.
interested.
Hey, are you going to be setting up shop here? Because I have some questions I might be able to get some answers to.
Won't be setting up shop. Just a
Hi.
quick visit. This
And maybe
time,
if
at
I can
least.
grab you, if you're hanging out, maybe I could buy you a cup of coffee and you could tell me about some lottery numbers, Yeah, we can work something out here.
That's not quite how it works, but
Although she did tell me the future that you open the gate.
I mean, yeah. For the fox, of course. And he goes, all right, let him in. And the gates just start opening up.
After he walks away and says open the gate, he rolls up the window and looks at Kyoko and says, the king of Chicago? And he drives.
well, he probably doesn't go by that when he's come to my shop. Do you know who they're talking about?
It sounds like what the Don of the mob would call himself in the public eye.
There's someone I think it might be. But he didn't go by that name.
So was it the ace of two of hearts for the shop?
Two-hearted queen.
Two-hearted queen. As you pull up, you guys go in, very boisterous town, a lot of music being played, people walking in the streets, people drinking in the streets. It is anarchy, but no one's like fighting. There's no glasses being broken. It's all people just kind of going around doing things, being boisterous, but there is a semblance of order to the way life is. People are driving on the right sides of the street. People have shops and people pay with money. There is some semblance of a society here. As rough and tumble as some of these people are, you see people smoking in alleyways and you see people like smacking people, going doing like obviously creating these deals. You see gambling happening around corners, and you get to your shop. As you pull in, the queen that is on the logo has a fox around the shoulders, similar to you in your true form.
Nice.
Well, it seems Lilibet took a little inspiration, I suppose. That's what I call her, Elizabeth.
Oh, Elizabeth. Should we? Do you have to call her? Do we just show up? I'm just realizing.
It's a
now that
coffee
this is like a
shop,
hobbit.
Bazooka. You, of all people, should know what you do with these.
Yeah. I guess I'm just, I don't know, nervous meeting a friend of yours. I don't know. First
Well,
impressions.
more acquaintance. She was having a rough time, and I needed to leave. So it just seemed our stars aligned. She needed a place to stay. She had a dream of running a cafe, and I had a place that needed someone with good heart.
Two of them, apparently.
Yeah, apparently.
From the looks of it, does it look like this coffee shop is busy?
It is not empty, but it's not like flourishing with business. There are probably like 6 or 7 people inside. Somebody's writing down a script of some kind. Someone is off in the corner, like just kind of reading a paper, taking a sip. You see 2 or 3 baristas behind the counter. One of them doesn't really have anything to do, so they're just kind of cleaning. Another one's making cups. People are walking in and out. You do see in the far back, in a back corner, almost like a set piece, was your old table with a full setup and like a crystal ball. Very gaudy, kind of like fortune telling, yay, like way up in the back. Like obviously not your aesthetic, but since people knew this place is that, she wanted to have some
Like an homage
semblance
to it. Yeah,
exactly.
gotcha.
So as you walk in, I'm assuming as you do,
Yeah.
said, hi, welcome in. What can I get you to drink? Is this your first time here? She kind of
Well,
sees you. It's like,
First time for them, maybe not so much for me.
I have seen photos of you with Elizabeth. Oh my God. Well, the first cup is on the house for sure. Oh, this is really cool. Hey, this is the fox lady that Elizabeth knows, the one who can kind of see the future. Oh, that's really cool.
I can't see the future, but I appreciate the sentiment of that.
Oh,
She can
yeah.
totally see the future.
Oh, that's awesome. So, like, I have some questions about life choices. I don't know if I should get into agriculture or more into like arcanic development. Do you see me being happier in like, okay, how does this work? Do I like give you some blood?
No blood is needed, although I suppose that would make a bond stronger. Give me your hand, if you might.
Yeah, sure, of course. Hands her hand to you.
12. I don't think this is going well.
You can either say you know nothing or make something up. This person seems like they'd believe you.
I think you have to do what is deep down in your heart. Whatever it is that gives you your passion. Because in the end
Aerial
of the day,
silks.
we only live once. Well,
You're right.
Aerial Silks is great. Yeah, no, it's great for the core.
I should go join that circus I've been wanting to. Guys, it's my last day. I'm gonna go join the circus. As she like takes off the apron and just walks outside. Just leaves. He's like, well, I'm down a barista. Thanks.
Sorry.
Let's be honest. She was gonna quit within a day or two.
Well,
Well, what can I get
appears
you?
you already knew what fate had in store for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I did. But, you know, you see a lot of young kids coming through. They're here, they figure out what they want to do, they leave. All right. What am I going to do for you? Sorry. My name is Kenneth. I'm part owner.
Hi, Kenneth. Name's Kyoko.
Kyoko. Nice to meet you.
And
Well,
I have a whole group of friends with me today. A little
it
different
seems
than normal.
as such. All right, well, you might have cost me a barista, but you're Elizabeth's friend, so first round's on me. What you guys want? Takes
She kind of
orders.
puts her hand out to
for you guys to order. And after everyone orders, she says, "Well, Kenneth, do you know where Elizabeth might be?"
At the moment, Elizabeth is probably upstairs in her apartment.
All right.
So she ended up getting the place upstairs. It's nice. Less traveling for her.
Well, we'll have to pay her a visit after we enjoy these nice cups of coffee.
Sounds good. Well, it's been a pleasure.
Kyoko will nod
Oop.
and find them a seat and sit down.
As you guys sit down into these nice leather-bound chairs with these, I don't want to say it's not like silver plated, but it's like metal work around. It's a very industrialist vibe with some nice seating. You hear like a doom, 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 doom coming from the back as somebody gets this big old upright bass and starts playing a nice little vibe for the background.
I think on the way to the seat, she notices someone else sitting at one of the other coffee tables alone.
Mm.
And she's like, Tony Takato?
Yeah,
It's been so long. How you doing?
Kyoko. Oh my God, it's great to see ya. How have you been? How was Los Angeles? We all were so sad when you left. Oh, it's good to
Well-
see you back. You back for long? I can go and make up a lasagna. You know, we could have some friends over. I could get everybody together.
No need for that. It's just a quick visit, but figured I should see some friends, and I'm glad to see you in here.
Oh, I mean, it's good to see you again. I'll have to let the missus know. You made it across the open air. Look at you, beyond the walls, all the way back, years past. Good to have you back.
It has been a journey, that is for sure. It's nice to be back.
You know this place is better with you here. So,
I don't know about that. I think y'all been doing quite fine without me.
it's a little give and take, you know? Definitely, we have a nice coexistence, a little symbiotic relationship of a government forming. It's just nice, you know?
Yeah, I could see that. Well, I need to join my other friends, but I did want to stop by and say hi since I noticed you over here.
Well, you know where I live. We're having dinner tonight. I'm going to make up an extra plate. If you happen to be there, you know you're welcome.
Well, if fate has it in store for us, you may see me.
Yeah, look forward to it. Oh, shoot, that's the time. Gets up like, I was wonderful talking to you. I got to go pick up Denise from a game, so I'm going to be back.
She waves and heads back to the table.
Zuko
Guys?
kind of was watching this all go down, like the palm reading and the interactions with Tony. And just kind of like, as you sit down, kind of very clearly nervous about something, but he wants to ask you something, and just goes, can you, like, I'll pay if I have to, but like, can you do the whole like reading thing for me as well? Like, I never had my fortune like really told before, and it seems kind of cool. If it means I'm gonna go to the circus, don't tell me. But like anything else, I would love to. Is this wrong? Like, you're not in like business hours? I guess I shouldn't be asking you this. This is kind of unprofessional.
For you,
but, like,
Azuka, I would gladly, but I don't know if you want me to sit down and have a proper reading or something quick. I'll be honest, I saw nothing with that young lady, unfortunately. But
oh,
sometimes it doesn't quite work like that. Like I mentioned before, they come to me in waves, and sometimes I'm able to gather something, but I always try to leave people with some semblance of advice. Because in the end, whether I see something or not, it's the actions we take that change fate.
if you do like the long, like proper sit down for it, how long would that take? Would it be like awkward to do here in a public place? I'm personally fine with it, but like for you as the one going through the process of it, would you prefer a private place, or if the quick one is better? Honestly, I'm not really. I would just like to have my fortune told because it just seems like a really cool.
Well, it's up to you
Thing.
how long you want to take.
And if you're comfortable with being in front of a bunch of people, there's a table over there. I'm supposing she's leaving it for me. She kind of points at the really gaudy looking table with like the skull, crystal ball.
As you look over, you have a vision of a shattering saucer plate to your left that you feel like you can catch.
Kyoko will like lift her hand up.
As that happens, you see the other barista, the one who wasn't Kenneth, kind of goes over and is obviously like listening in, falls, hits, knocks something. One of their like to sell cups falls over and you just catch it, put it back. You kind of just without missing a beat, go back into the conversation.
Whoa. That was cool. Yeah, let's do the long one. I'm fine with people watching.
All right. Well, it seems we're going to have a busy day. Because once I do yours, I think there's going to be many other people who want theirs read.
Are you sure you want to do it for free? I feel bad asking for like you to do a job. I have coins. I don't really use them.
I'm all right.
Okay.
Okay. And I think for Kyoko, deep down, she's like, this might give me some more information. And she will walk over to the table and kind of move, like, zhuzh it around a little bit. And then she pulls out of her little bag. It's like a little purse bag, but it's a bag of holding. And she just starts pulling stuff out of the bag. Like, it's like this little pouch. And she's got like cards. She's got these like little crystals. There are probably like 3 or 4 of them. And she just places the crystals like around the skull. And then she pulls out the cards and starts shuffling them.
While this is happening,
bag holding thing, yeah.
Chuck, it is odd that you don't have the hat on and being nearly overshadowed by people recognizing Kyoko. And you're very odd. It's just like this, this is what anonymity is. Just have this moment of being like, no one's paying attention. This is kind of nice. We're going to say we leave Red outside in the car.
What, we don't bring him inside so he can become one with the coffee?
He wants his time with Betsy.
Oh, he's got time with Betsy, right? Yeah. Alone time with Betsy.
You just
oh
hear
my
from the
gosh,
car
she's just in the car talking to the car.
What do you do for fun?
Yeah, occasionally you probably see Chuck like press a button on something that like messes with the radio or like opens a door and shuts a door. Actually, you know what? He's probably allowing Mentala to do it. He's allowing Mentala to do it. So Mentala's the prankster, so Mentala can mess with his watch.
Mentala's probably doing a little bit.
No, I get it too. I also love to watch pigeons. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I too dream of flying.
Honestly, the way Chuck is looking is both he's not being recognized, which is intriguing. He's really intrigued, so he's watching Kyoko a lot right now. But also the last time we were in a diner like situation, something happened, so he's being very, very hyper perceptive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially with the King of Chicago loves you. So
with that, we go back. Kyoko's setting up.
Azuka looks weirdly nervous. For someone who's been through like quite literal life and death situations, confronted the devil multiple times, he seems kind of nervous about like, oh, I'm gonna get my, kind of rubbing his sweaty palms against his pant legs, trying to stack himself up. For whatever reason, he's kind of nervous about this ordeal, but excited, and takes a seat.
Kyoko seems like she's just like, this is second nature to her. Like it's almost like she's done it so many times, it's habitual as you see her kind of laying out the cards and whatnot and the crystals. Kyber, how would you like me to do this? Because read fate is more short term. I don't know if you want me just to do kind of a fortune telling or how you'd like.
I'm going to say if you roll really well on a fortune telling, we might get something. If you get a little bit, it's up to you to decipher, to make up whatever you would like. to do like a normal fortune telling, I'm going to leave that up to you. We'll see.
For my daily rolls, should I do those now?
I would say before we
Actually,
do anything super
Forgot
serious.
those. Or it's just one. My 1d20. 10. Okay.
Right down the middle.
Yeah, very interesting. I'm gonna make a note of that.
Okay. That's basically a free assurance on anything.
All right.
I'm learning terms.
Fortune telling. I think you see Kyoko shuffle the cards, and then she hands them to you and says, "Now all I need from you is to split the deck."
I'll split them.
And she puts them back together. And we'll see how it goes. 26. Woo!
Wow.
The
Where's
dice
that
are telling a
dice?
story. It's funny because the dice are telling a story. It's like, for the barista, nah, we're saving that.
Okay. Would you like to ask a question about Azuka's future? Or
I think
about
Azuka
Azuka's
asked the
past?
question of what they want. And then that is the...
Okay.
So what were you asking, Azuka?
Oh, I think Azuka himself was just like, I don't know, I just give her my hand and she tells me the future. Like, he wasn't thinking of anything specific. But I think,
Like, what would be the intention in your mind?
yeah.
Because normally fortune, doing tarot card readings is having a question, having that influence, and then
Yeah.
pull one.
Yeah.
That's normally how she does it.
I think this is very subconscious because I don't think he knows that's how it works. I don't think it's like, okay, I need to have a very clear intent. But I think, at least on a subconscious level, I think his biggest question is if the people around him are going to be okay with his less than normal affliction. He's fully aware that he is a danger, and he just wants to know if he will continue to be a danger and maybe become an active one around the people he cares about and the people around him anytime soon.
In a game about decisions, to know for certain what that is with how many things that can alter the course of it, Kyoko, your mind gets overwhelmed with entire family dead. Family's fine. You're all dead. You're all fine. You're falling through the sky. You're being attacked by a dragon. You are safe in a penthouse, drinking lemonade. You are on a boat. You are back in the old world. You are somewhere entirely new, entirely different. You're in the Fey realm. There's all these back to back to back, like everything everywhere all at once, like just experiencing all of these different branches of reality. And some are clearer than others. You know that there are decisions that Azuka will make that will determine if people live. And you know that to be certain. The branches are unclear, but you know that there will be a decision to be made. So whatever you tell Azuka is up to you.
I think you see Kyoko kind of put down the first card, and she just like pauses. And it's
Like
almost
a little nosebleed.
yeah, and like
Goes
almost
down.
like when you're looking at her, it looks like she's like distorted, almost blurry. It's a little weird. And so is her tail, or chals. She's got 9 of them.
Mm.
And then she opens her eyes back up, and she looks a little worried, but then looks to you and says, "There are many, many lands for you. So many paths that you can take. Some that lead you down dark paths, others that lead you to the light.
I can't tell you what the future holds, but I can say that there'll be a decision you must make, and that decision could mean life or death for somebody you care for.
I think there's a definitely like taken aback. That was heavier than I expected. I thought I was gonna know if I should go to the circus or not. Thank you.
Well,
though.
that's why they say be careful what you ask for.
Yeah, I'm starting to figure that out more and more. But by the way, and he's gonna like just grab like a paper napkin and hand it over and just go, "Yo, bleeding."
Right.
As you go to dip the blood away, Chuck, you notice Mentala is just kind of like looking all around, like kind of like all of a sudden he's like turning, looking at a wall, like looking at like a line in the like he sees this path in the floor that leads to something, and he's just like almost sensory overload.
Min, you good there?
Oh, yeah, I'm good. There's just like there's a lot going on here.
What do you mean?
There's,
There's like nothing going on in here.
No, but it's like the whole city. It's like there's so many people in it, and they're also like on top of each other.
Yeah,
With
All the different, like the paths and the. You don't see any of it, do you?
I see you.
It's fine. It's fine. There's just it's busy. There's a lot of stuff in the air, in the ground, and in like the bricks.
Are you talking like Fae stuff?
Well, they're
Or-
just like magic, energy.
Oh. I never would have thought of that for Chicago.
It's like I
Has
was
been a
saying
long time
before.
since I've been here.
It's just nature reshaped. It's just a different way of being. Still full of magic.
Just something calling out to you, or you just
Nothing in particular. It's just there's so many paths and strands and like sounds, and it's complicated to explain. It's like we were in a lake and now we're in the sea.
well, you want to go pull on one of those strands?
Maybe in a little bit.
Fair. What's it like being able to see that kind of stuff?
What's it like not being able to? I don't know.
I mean, do you naturally see it, or can you like turn it off? Is there like an off-on switch on you?
Well, you can just sort of pay attention to it or ignore it, I guess. It's like a smell. It's like you can, sometimes you notice it just because it's there, and then sometimes you got to sniff, and then you realize that there was something there the whole time.
I guess that does make sense.
It's hard to explain. It's just like a sense. It's just one of my senses, I guess.
Is it a sense of potential, or is it a sense of something already happening?
It's stuff. It's stuff that's happened. It's like the paths people have taken, and the way, like, people and society have like moved and all this. It's like a. Okay, so if you've got like a park and it's full of grass, and like, on one corner of the park you've got somewhere a lot of people come out of, and on the other corner of the park you got somewhere a lot of people want to go, and like, you know, they walk along one edge and they walk along the other edge, and it's fine. But some people, they're in a rush, so they go straight over the middle. And if enough people go straight over the middle, it wears out the grass, and you get a path, a new one that's just been made, and nobody decided to put a path there. It just happened because enough people wanted to do it. That's the case with other things as well. It's like roads and alleys and you know, and footpaths and all these things. They have an energy because people just willed them to be because they wanted to go somewhere. And a city is just a load of those all on top of each other. Just people flowing and moving around and leaving little traces of where they've been. When the worlds mashed together, that was all already here. And then magic just kind of fell on top of it and molded into it and flowed along the lines that were already there.
Wow.
I think just the wow is perfect on a way to pivot back to Kyoko and Azuka. So, huh.
Are you okay? You started
She
bleeding.
dabs the blood and says, I'll be all right.
Okay.
Are you going to be all right?
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, didn't really tell me anything I didn't already know.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. I guess it's just kind of interesting to have it confirmed.
She nods as she's kind of like thinking about the millions of different visions she just had. Some horrific and some pleasant.
On that, you hear a ding-a-ding of somebody coming through the door. Two men, trench coats, little like dock workers caps, got a little loosened tie, kind of just walks in. Chuck, I know you're looking. Roll me a perception check.
Does this look like Geo?
No.
Oh, okay.
17 total.
They are very much having these like 22 caliber bullets tattooed on the neck. Just walks up. Hey,
Mintala,
Ken.
you see Chuck as he stops paying attention to you, and he just kind of starts moving his hand towards his hip, just in case.
And he walks up. Hey, Kenneth, how you doing, bud? It's time to pay taxes. And Kenneth goes, yep, got your stuff. Goes up, pulls out like a little roll up of cash, hands it over. It's like, all right, see you next month. And he goes, all right, you have a good business. Hey, you guys been doing good lately. And they actually have like a nice conversation about business and how supply lines have been, how they're able to find these new people who are trading like actual like coffee beans. You don't really think about it a lot, but the fact that like without international trade lines, it might be a little hard to get some coffee now and then. So they just have a nice conversation about that, and they kind of just do a little send off and head on out. As they leave, though, another Duesenberg rolls up. Two men get out, go open. The doors both open out from the middle. It's a very vacant spot in the center, and a large man gets out. He has a couple rings going across his hands. He has this red tie with a tattoo that's going up his neck, up into his lip. And he has slicked back black hair. He looks like the definition of an Italian mobster. And he walks up to the door. Someone opens the door for him. As he starts walking through, you see a tattoo of a crown on his left hand. And he just ignores everybody else as he walks in. Hey, Kiki! Kyoko, how you doing?
Is that Geo?
Sir. That is Geo.
Okay.
He just walks all the way to the back. My girl, my beautiful, how you doing?
Geo, it's been a while.
It has, and look, you even got your own little place cut out for you. Is this permanent? Do I got my lucky charm back?
This is not my place. Lilibet.
I can talk, if you want it, I can talk to Elizabeth.
No.
We can get her a nicer place down the street. A lot more venues that could be had.
I think I'm all right. I'm just here for a short visit.
Something about the voice tips you off, Chuck. It's so familiar. Kyo, you notice the difference in Geo immediately. The tattoo is new. As he speaks, you see his tongue is now made of silver.
Interesting.
It's like, well, what brings you back to town? Huh?
Just stopping on by. I have quite a travel ahead of me, but I don't know if you've heard, but the train has some issues and we're waiting for some repairs.
My boy Ace filled me in. It's super unfortunate what happened with that. Maybe I can send some security with it next time. Maybe we can work out a little business deal. You can introduce me to the conductor. We can make this a safe place for everybody.
I don't know the conductor very well. In fact, I spent most of the train ride sleeping. I wasn't feeling so well.
Oh, you were a little under the weather? I know that used to happen to you from time to time.
It was something like that.
Well,
it seems like a lot has changed for you.
Business is good. You know, it's from when back in the day, I'd ask you some questions about deals, and you always led me the right way, and now, they call me the King of Chicago. Your man made himself a king.
So that's you they're talking about.
That is me.
I had a feeling that might be.
Something you've noticed about Geo is some of the gray hairs that he used to have are black again. You notice crow's feet that he used to have are gone. Something has rejuvenated him.
Mm.
And as you look, like, he has these tattoos of these runes on the inside of his palm, and just like, hey, how about for old time's sake, you give me a fortune? I can get you a nice place. You got a place to stay tonight? I could get you some food. It's gonna be lovely. I could get one of the fellas, run down, get some good ganaches.
Well, I think that we do have a place to stay. But, of course, for a regular, it has been so long. I would gladly give you a reading.
My apologies. I'm so sorry for ignoring your friends. Sorry. What can I do you for? My name is Geo.
I'm Azuka, and I'll put a hand out to shake.
While they're interacting, Kyoko will look towards Chuck to see if he would like to be introduced, but if it's looking like he's trying to...
If we make eye contact, he's gonna, like, subtly shake his head no.
Okay.
All right, well, about it. One more fortune while you're in town.
Of course, anything for a regular. And then as he sits down, Kyoko says to Azuka, well, you see, Geo here would come to visit me every Thursday. Same time, always on time.
Hey, you never miss a time to do your lucky things, You gotta rub a rabbit's foot,
Well, I don't think that this is necessarily luck. It really is all about the decisions you make.
Exactly. Decisions entirely. So, I just made a deal. And I want to know what your vibes are about that. Should I be a little skeptical? Should I be aggressive? Should I be hands off?
Well, let's see what fate has prepared for us.
Go ahead.
And Kyoko has already been taking the sage and kind of doing, like, cleansing the deck, so to speak.
As you do that, he just kind of breathes out in. He's like, now this is, brings back the memories, Kyoko.
And then she'll shuffle the deck and hand him the deck. He already knows what to do, I'm assuming.
He just immediately takes it, splits it, puts it back, splits it into thirds, puts it back in front of you.
And
Now.
she flips over the first card.
As you go to flip, he goes from like this joyous to an incredibly serious, like, all right. He trusts your tellings religiously.
Oh, God. This is going to be dangerous.
But like Mentala, who was playing
Oh,
before
no.
with the
Wait,
with the
hold on.
controller for the.
Did you ever roll? Because we switched days. You slept to get your lucky die thing.
Yeah, I did.
The
I
lucky
rolled a
die is
10.
a 10.
My lucky
So
die.
Mentala's
So-
got the remote for the car that he's been messing with, and he's got
Mhm.
his hand on like the door release for the doors nearest the shop, and he's just
Beautiful.
like looking and trying to be inconspicuous.
If you would like to make that a 10, that would bump it up to a 20.
Ooh. Oh, because I can make the dice a 10.
Correct.
I thought it just makes the roll a 10.
No, it makes the dice.
Okay, yeah, I would like to use my dice.
Cool.
Either that or I was about to use a hero point because I was like, this is scary. He's like a mobster.
You flip the card over and it shows a moon putting its light down onto the water going up towards the beach, and you have a vision of Ace at a dock going up talking to somebody. Hand pulls out really fast, shoots him in the head, puts the gun back in the pocket, turns around, walks away as the body falls into the water. As you hear boom, 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 and you see 4 other people drop. Next to him, and he goes, "It's okay. Looks like we got a new place." And he starts walking in. And you see him smiling as the camera pans over, and you see Geo standing there, smiling. Obviously happy.
Kyoko is a little uncomfortable, but tries to gather her composure for this situation.
Mm. Can you roll me? I want to see, because that's something that you're not
Performance.
seeing- yeah,
diplomacy.
performance. I think it would have to be.
Okay. Not terrible at it. We'll see. 15.
Okay. He's kind of looking at you, just. So, what'd you see?
Are you sure you want me to say that in front of everyone else?
I mean, business is business. If it's good or bad or ugly. He kind of looks around, and there are some uneasy people in the shop, but all of his men that he walked in with are just, it is what it is at the end of the day.
I don't know what you've gotten yourself into, Geo. But it is ugly business.
Kiki. People get into my business. I don't get into others anymore.
See, there's a difference between racetracks and little deals here and there. This is much bigger. You and I both know that.
You're getting better at this. You've grown.
I don't know about that, but
Now we're away from vibes, and now we're getting straight visions. This is good. Maybe I don't want you to leave. It'd be nice to have you around.
I have things to
Hey,
do
but that
and
is-
places to be.
And I would never be the person to force that upon you.
I would hope not. I don't think anyone can. Well, other than fate herself, I suppose.
Hey, the big one, right? Yeah. So, I hate to be pushy, but what'd you see?
I think you're making a deal with someone named Ace.
Ace is there. Okay. That, if Ace is there, it means one thing. There's a problem that needs to be solved. Thank you for the foresight.
It was an unpleasant one, but Seems you both come to an agreement in the end.
Hey, we can always do nice business. I wish everything could be so easy. You know,
You can, though. It's all choices. It's all decisions that I made.
he stands up, kind of tips an invisible hat as he steps to the side. You have the promise of Giovanni Russo, the King of Chicago, that if I have a choice to do something good, I will. If you need anything, please come to me. You know I got you covered.
Can I sense motive that or something?
Go
of that
right ahead.
sort? What would that be? That's
I guess it would be like in a perception.
Yeah, I believe still perception for sense motive.
21.
You can tell this is very different from the man you used to know. And when he is willing to say something and do something are entirely different things. When he says that, you see the people around him just kind of like, Giovanni gets done what needs to be done.
Look, Gio, I'm happy that you're feeling like you've accomplished a lot. But I worry about how you got there. And you and I both know what you just said is a lie.
It pains me. Pains me, Kiki.
Well, it pains me as well.
But, you know, it is one of those things that he looks to his side and he starts staring at Chuck. And he goes, Chucky boy! Oh, I can't believe it's you! How long has it been? As the camera pans to Chuck's face,
Is that
what
what
do
we're
they see?
cutting
What do we see, Tyler?
He's in shock. Like, Mentala would have noticed, like, his like hand started shaking because the wrist started shaking. He's like, no.
And with that, the camera pulls away, out into the street, out up into the clouds. And we will end today.
Wow.
Woo.
Welcome to Chicago.
Oh God.
I had to hit you with it, buddy.
Oh God.
Oh no. I had a feeling
good
as
thing.
soon as we got in that Gio was going to be one of the gangsters because I was like, he just told me all this lore about this guy, and I was like, oh, something bad's going to happen.
There's a lot
This-
more.
This is going to be an after show to listen to.
Yeah, after show for funsies. Definitely come tune in if you want to get a little sneak peeks at stuff. But speaking of after show, we do have some things that we need to talk about before we go record that. First and foremost, we want to thank you all for watching. We appreciate you coming here and watching us live. We do have a sponsor today, which is Roll20. Thank you, Roll20, for sponsoring us. If you're curious how we do our dice rolling, our character sheets, or anything like that, it's through Roll20. They have been fantastic. And I mean, we've used them for all kinds of different games, not just dice rolling games. But if you're looking for a virtual way to play with your friends, I would highly recommend it. And of course, we do have some merch if you want to check it out. designbyhumans.com/shop/roll for it. You can get yourself a mug, a sweater, whatever it may be that you need in order to rep the roll for it. And we do want to, reminder, we've got a special guest on April 13th, and that will be by Connie Chang. Connie is awesome. I've had the pleasure of playing with them in another role play session, and it was amazing. And I'm excited to see what they bring to the
So
table in
I got to play. I was
Valtorn.
in a campaign with Connie not too long ago as well. We ended the season a couple of months ago.
I asked her if she will
write my obituary. That's how, just like off the cuff.
Connie is
she's
incredible
she's
with their words.
incredible
No.
with
I'm
words.
so
like
excited.
Incredible.
off the cuff, incredible with words. And the way she describes stuff is just, they're amazing. So I would highly recommend watching Connie's stuff. Good things. And of course, we would like to thank our supporter, Hero Sheep. Tyler, waiting for the sound effect. You muted it.
You muted yourself.
Thank you, Hero Sheep, for supporting us. If you'd like to be a supporter like Hero Sheep, you can become a legend tier above, where you get to play a privately GM'd game. This month and a few months will be Kai Bear GMing, and you may affect our live game. So, have fun with that. And of course, there are tons of other goodies over on our Patreon that you can get access to, like our after show that we're going to record, and our character sheets and our background stories if you want to go see some of that, although there is some redacted info in there, so maybe we'll slowly start chingling that out there in the future. And of course, you can become a Twitch subscriber right here on Twitch, get access to the video in advance if you missed part of the beginning there, and you can also get access to some of our emotes, and you can become a YouTube member where you get access to some of those emotes. And whether you're a YouTube member, Twitch subscriber, or a Patreon supporter, you get access to our private Discord where I'm sure there's going to be lots of thoughts. And of course, there's lots of non-monetary ways to support us. We know that not everyone can support in a monetary way, and that's okay. But watching us live here, making clips, I saw lots of those. Thank you. And of course, watching us on YouTube, subscribing, liking, commenting, and following us on Twitter and Facebook, liking, sharing, and retweeting. We actually will be making a post in a little bit here about Connie, so definitely give a little retweet and a share to that, because we're excited for Connie to be here. And with that, I'm going to go around and let people say where you can find them at, because not only are they amazing role players here, they also do lots of awesome stuff elsewhere. And we'll kick it off first with Bentham Plays. Where can people find you at, and maybe like meet you in person?
What?
When you're not
Yep.
seeing the magical lines and paths in the world of Chicago.
I had so much fun doing that. That's my star for today, because I'm going to miss the after show. So you can find me on YouTube and on Twitch, where I go by the name Mangleport for some reason, a stupid reason. And there you can find me doing Let's Plays. We've been doing lots of Barrow Trauma recently. We've been roping lots of random new people into Barrow Trauma and running them through the nightmare that is the oceans of Europa infested with aliens.
Mm-hmm.
And the ridiculous submarine that I've built. It's wonderful. We're doing that every Sunday. We're going to miss this Sunday, though, because I'm going to be at the Insomnia Gaming Festival. Literally, as soon as we end the stream, I'm getting in my car and I'm heading down there. And then I'll be there for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And people can come say hi if they want. That'd be cool.
Awesome.
That's me.
Next up, we've got Chuck Spadina, played by Apocalypto 12. Where can people find you at when you are not meeting a long-lost nemesis? I don't know. I'm not sure what this is now. Lover?
Ooh, it's
Nemesis?
Lovers?
Brother?
Both?
I don't know.
This is,
I don't know.
this is
I'm just
interesting.
guessing.
you know.
You can find me on my podcast called Go My Favorite Sports Team. In fact, an episode just dropped today where Mark just hijacked the entire episode, just fully took control when I'm usually the one leading the charge. So it's chaotic, it's wonderful, it's more like distractible as other podcasts than you'd imagine, but it's a lot of fun. You can find that video coming soon on Spotify exclusively, but you can find that on all the podcast listening apps to listen to only. But yeah, I've just been busy getting into shape, doing boxing stuff. I actually am going to Creator Clash next week. It's going to be fun. So if you're there see me, say hi.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Next up, we have Draconics playing our one and only Azuka, who we love and adore. Where can people find you at when you are not sassing it up at breakfast with your insides? I don't know.
My insides. My inner
I don't know. He's
demons.
like inside you, right? I don't know. It's weird.
Metaphysically inside of, you know.
Hey, we're bonded by the soul.
It was a pun,
When
you
two
know, play
becomes
on the
one.
words.
It was great. Beautiful. Would never redo
But
it.
hi, I'm Drac. You can find me on Twitter at Draconics. That's DRAKONIQUES. I kind of stream on a bunch of different channels. So honestly, just follow me on Twitter is the best way to figure out what I'm doing at any given moment. But the only thing I will shout out is that next week on Wednesday, I'll be honest, can't remember the time, so just follow me on Twitter. But on Wednesday, we're going to be premiering with another Pathfinder campaign I'm going to be in called Stormforge, which I'm very excited about. We've got a group of very fun people that I'm very stoked, and it's going to
I feel
be.
like Tara would do well in Stormforge.
Yeah.
Honestly, she would, because it's very much like it's honestly very like we've left, but I don't know how much more to say. You're all here. You get to get a little sneak peek of the world. We kind of left behind magic because magic was seen as just not really that good, and it's more tech now.
So she really would. Nice.
Yeah, she really would. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We've been dropping sneak peeks of character art for the characters, and I'm excited for everyone to meet mine. My character is a bit of I'll admit, he's a himbo. He's a bit head empty.
We
and I'm
love a
very
good
excited to
himbo.
play
We
him.
love a good himbo, yeah. Ain't nobody gonna hate.
Exactly. But yeah, that's me.
Awesome. And last but not least, we got Kai Bear playing all the other characters in the world with many accents. And in fact, played Kyoko last episode. So you know. Where can
If you
people
couldn't
find
tell.
Where can people find you at when you're not running people over with a train, running people over with a car, running people over with their past?
You can buy me on all the big T's of social media, Twitch, TikTok, and Twitter, all over Kai Bear, KYBAER. As well as you can find me and Maggie at Gen Con, where we're going to be DMing for Kobold Press in their new upcoming system. So that's going to be very exciting.
It'll be very, very exciting. I think this year's going to be a lot of events for me. It's going to be wild. But
speaking of which, where can people find you?
Yeah, I'm Margaret Crone. You can find me at Margaret Crone in all of the places. I do lots of things on the internets. If you want to see what those are, follow me. There will be some other tabletop stuff coming up in the future here, so stay tuned for the announcements of those. Yeah, just follow me on all the things. I also make games and video games for a living. I'm working on a project called Ashes of Creation, which you could find at Ashes of Creation in all the places. And with that, we're going to end today's episode. We hope that you enjoyed it, and we will see you all next Thursday for another Valtorn, and we hope that you enjoy the after show.
Wait, hold on. Wait.
What?
We're doing a raid, don't forget.
Oh yeah, we're gonna raid. So we're actually gonna go raid Bub Talks. We would like you all to type in chat "roll for raid" when we go over there. So when we go into his chat, spam "roll for raid." Bub is amazing. If you've been watching our VTM series, Bub is obviously in there, and he's been going through some surgery, which he's successfully overcome, and we just love him to death. We're excited to see him on more stuff in the future too. So stay tuned for that and give him some love. Toodles.